Says it's going live. Okay, am I live now? I think I might be live. Let's see. Just waiting for YouTube to catch up. If you all can hear me, hello. If not, we'll find out. There we go. Okay, I see that it's live now. Perfect. All right, so I finally got the last part I needed. Well, not the last part, but one of the big parts. Ryzen 9 5900X. I don't know how well you can see that in the reflection there. So I'm going to go ahead and get a computer build going today. It won't be a complete computer build for a couple reasons. Reason one is I don't have a new GPU. So the GPU I'm using is in my system right now, which we are using to film this. So I will not be able to install that, which means it won't boot, which means we can't look at the final product. The other issue is going to be the RAM. Now, I do have some RAM here. It is very pretty, Trident Z Royal RAM. And while this stuff is fantastic, the RAM I have in my current build is better. So this will be getting swapped out. This will be temporary to make sure everything works, etc. once I put the graphics card in there. And then all my storage drives and boot drives and everything else are also in my computer. So I cannot, put those in, which means I can't boot the computer. So we're doing a most of the way build. So we're going to go ahead and start off here. I did some reviews. Oh, geez, it's been months now. Months ago when I thought I was going to have a processor and a graphics card like right away, which obviously did not happen. Anyone watching this is probably well aware of the shortage of everything. Tech has had a fantastic year and a horrible year. Fantastic because everyone is more interested in it, everyone needs it, everyone's buying it. Horrible because everyone's buying it and no one can get it because everyone's interested in it. So it's a double-edged sword. There is some good news on the horizon, though. They are working on more fabs and everything, so we'll be able to get that going here at some point. I am going to go ahead and start by taking off the peel finally. Whew, finally, that's what, 9 months waiting, sitting in a box that I haven't been able to peel that off? Oh man, okay. So let's go ahead and get this peel off here as well, maybe. Come on. I would say I'm getting the peel off, but it's being a little difficult. So, very carefully, I'm taking the screwdriver to just kind of lift up on the edge there because I don't have nails to do it with. And there we go. Oh, nope, that tore. Guess that peel has just been on there for too long. It is too stubborn to come off correctly. Jeez. It's already starting off really good here. Can't even, the peel's going correctly. There we go. There we go. All right. So the other really cool thing I kind of wanted to show as well. I've been waiting to get these for a while. These are the Lian Li, what do you call it, uni fans. And it's awesome. As you can see, they're linked together. There's no screws or anything. They're just linked together. Let's see if I can pop this one off here. I go the right way. There we go. So you can see they just kind of slide in. They have connectors here and connectors here. And then you just pop that right back on here. If I do it correctly, that is. All right. I looked at these the other day, just kind of get an idea of what I was doing. There we go. And then they just slide on. You hear, it's not really a click, but you just feel it kind of fit into place. And each one of the fans, I got the packs of 3, come with this at the top as well. I'm assuming one is for RGB, one is for the fan control. And you just slide it on top, and that gives control for the whole thing. I'll be putting that in the case as well. I'll put it together, just kind of test it out before. But I'm kind of excited for that. That's going to make a huge difference with cable management. We all know how much of a pain cable management can be, so that is going to make a huge difference and help a lot. And I missed a peel. There we go. I know you probably can't really hear that, but it was nice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with some of the basics here. Let's just do the easy thing, get the RAM in there. One thing you got to do, you always want to not stacking right on top of each other. The term is escaping me right now. But essentially, these are different channels. That way, you're using this channel and this channel, but they go in pairs. So you kind of skip a slot when you're doing it. And usually it's the, what's that, 2 and 4 or 1 and 3, depending on how the motherboard names itself. So let's make sure it's lined up. Oh, and always pop those guys off so it'll actually go in. See what I'm doing. There we go. Maybe. Oh, okay, that caught me off guard. I'm not used to it being on both sides. That used to be how they all used to be. Not so much anymore. It's usually just the one side now, so that kind of caught me off guard. So, now that sounds absolutely horrible when you do it. It sounds like something just cracked. It's fine. It's okay. You don't want to like beat them up or anything, but they can take a little bit of force and be fine. It's just the casing's I don't know how you can hear that. The casing's a little funky too. And it helps if I put them in the correct way. There we go. And RAM installed. Boom, that easy. Now, I haven't actually built a computer from scratch in about 2 years now. I have torn down, repaired, maintained, cleaned, upgraded, etc. But not a fresh build, which has been really bumming me out. So I can finally enjoy this. I'm going to get the CPU in. I'm going to lift that up there. There we go. Let me grab the CPU. And I had to take this out of the box the second I got it because it's a 5900X and amazing. And I just had to open it up and check it out. So, very carefully, very carefully. These are very rare and very expensive. All right. And these do have the pins on the bottom, so you want to make sure you're careful of that. There's a little triangle there. I'm not sure how well that's going to show up on the camera. Yeah, that's not going to show up at all. But you can kind of see the triangle there. And you want to match that up on the socket. And some of these are kind of hard to see, but there we go. Very carefully, very carefully. There we go. And that went in nicely. Arm down, and boom, CPU installed. That is the scariest part always because that is one of the most expensive parts and the easiest to break. So I'm glad that is done. Next up, let's go ahead and turn it around. I need to see what kind of mounting hardware the Kraken has before I get too busy here as I just launch pieces such as, there we go, the spreader and the Thermal Grizzly. Got Thermal Grizzly for it. More than likely this is going to have something on it already, so I'm not going to worry about cleaning it off and repasting, but just in case there's no paste on there, I have the paste ready to go. Always make sure you're ready to go. All right, and I have not opened this up at all yet. I'm really excited. So the cool thing about this is it's the kind, as you can kind of see it right there, it'll tell you what your temperature is, like just right off the bat. So that's pretty cool. That's kind of why I got this one. It'll keep the CPU nice and cool. It's got the, what was it? 360 millimeter, yep, 360 millimeter. It's got the included fans in there. What I am going to do is swap those fans out for these guys here. And then I also have a second pack right here that I'll be using in the rest of the system to kind of make it a little prettier. Flash it up a little bit. I don't like tons of Rainbow Puke RBG, but I do enjoy having, you know, a little bit of a splash. You can see my keyboard right here is nice and blue. Also, this is the new EVGA keyboard that just came out recently. I forget the name of it. In the box over there somewhere. It's for their 50/50 sale or whatever. 50% off, and then if you post it to social media, I think they gave you 50% worth of money on their site, something along those lines. I have not done that yet, so I don't know for sure. This new keyboard is kind of nice though. I'm enjoying it. It's a little different than the last one, so it's kind of the breaking in period right now. Just kind of getting used to the keys, and they're just slightly different, so there we go. And I should have brought a trash bag with me. That's fine. All right, so let's first of all going to move this out of the way so I don't drop anything on it. Center screen. There we go. You stay there carefully. There we go. All right. Move the mouse out of the way. There we go. I obviously have not opened this before. As you can see, I took off the packaging. Kraken Z series. All right, little instruction booklet. Put that over here. It always helps to have lots of space when you're building computers, obviously, because you can see all the stuff that's starting to pile up over here. Let's see here. All right, so I'm going to put this upside down carefully and just let it kind of slide on out of the box. All right, and box going to the side. I don't need that. For the remainder. All right, let's see what all we have here. All right, so that's the radiator itself and a little sleeve. These are the included fans. Now, I will be repurposing these fans so they don't go to waste. I also keep all my hardware that's extra inside like boxes, everything else, storage. That way, in case I have a friend or someone else who needs repair, I can repair it. Because there's no sense in throwing these away. They're perfectly good. I just had a different style and choice for design. Bracket stuff. And I don't like e-waste. I don't like just wasting stuff. So I always keep all my fans, everything else on hand. So if a friend, family, whatever fan goes dead, I have one there that they can use. Or if my own, dies for some reason. Thankfully, I have not had that issue in any build except for one I had running for years, and I think that was a rose wheel case with included fans, and eventually they just kind of wore themselves out, but I had that thing going for years. So I can't even complain about that at all. Right? Side. I throw that. Alright, let's kind of take a look at this. And it's nice and smooth feeling. Light, obviously. You'd think... You hear the water. You'd think it'd be a little heavier with water in there, but most of the weight is actually just in the pump there. So let's go take a look at that. And it does have thermal paste pre-applied. You can see that right there. I don't know how well that's going to cover the chip. If I have any kind of issues with overheating or just bad thermal conductivity, I will go ahead and pull it off and repaste it. But for now, I'll go ahead and leave that on and see how that works. That way there's no waste or extra work going into it. And let's see what hardware we have here. Okay, so it looks like the AM4 stuff is in here. AM4 bracket is for AMD. And let's see if those are labeled. That over the side. Oh, that is a lot of screws. Why would we need... Oh, okay, for all the, of course, fans and whatnot. Alright, and the mounting hardware as well. And doesn't say what that's for. Let's see. There's a back plate. I'm going to assume this is going to be... I should have done this beforehand probably, but... Okay, let me see if this has a cutout in the back here of the case. So I can do that once it's been on there. Okay, let's see here. One moment. Removing the back cover here for the Lian case. As a cover that kind of shields everything so your cable management, you can hide it if it's bad. Let's go ahead and put that in there so I don't lose the screw. And I really should have gotten a magnetic tray for all the screws. That's one thing I have not done and I am bad about doing. But I usually don't lose the screws, so we're good. Alright, so there is a nice cutout there in the back of the case. So I'm not going to worry about applying all this right now. I just want to kind of get a look, see what's what. And let's see what they have here for the AM4. See if that's the one that's already installed or if I need to do the installing. AMD. Wow, I cannot speak to AMD retention bracket. So the retention bracket is this one. So the one that's on there is Intel. We'll have to swap that out, which is usually pretty easy. Intel socket standoffs, Intel backplate, AMD retention bracket. Do we really not need the backplate then? Oh, we might be able to just use what's there, maybe? No, that can't be right. Let's see. Do that on there. And I mean, that might fit on there, but no, I'm gonna have to remove the. I'm gonna have to remove that probably. Let's just read through so I can see it ahead of time. Oh, geez, there's so many pages. All right, let's see. What do we have going on here? Installing the pump Intel AMD AM4. So that's just kind of generic. Installing the pump AMD TR4. Is it saying to leave the brackets on there? That's odd. What else do we have on this side? All right, let's see. Component list. Yep. G is the AMD standoff, so we may need the AMD stuff. And that's Intel. Preparation AMD. Okay, there we go. So, preparation for AMD is to remove that. So we'll go ahead and just remove that now while it's easy access. We'll move the cooler to the side. I'm running out of space already. That's why you need a lot of build space. Put you over there. Put you over there. Put you back over there. Put you here. Carefully. I really need a bigger desk. All right. Put you over there carefully. Okay, there we go. And set these over here. That main center there. And where did that other driver go? It's fine. I got my Gamer's Nexus hardware kit there. Hardware kit, screws, screwdrivers, all that good stuff. Here we go. This is my first chance getting to use this because I had originally planned on using it for this build, and I bought it months and months ago and was never able to use it. So carefully remove the screws. That works perfect, and these tools feel nice in your hand too, which is always nice. Come here, you. There we go. Now we'll set these to the side. I forgot to grab my bin for saving all the parts. I will grab that later. Slowly removing the screws. And there we go. And I'm pretty sure we can use the included backplate here if there is one. Yep, so there's a backplate there. I'm going to leave it flush and just kind of let it do its thing. And let's go ahead and go back to the setup here. All right, grab A and B. Yep, did that. Step 2. So the second step, from the front of the motherboard, install the AMD standoffs for AM4. And the AMD standoffs are labeled G. If you look at A, B, C, D, E, F, where's G? Aha! Right. G's right there. Let's go and find where those ones are. AM4. Plastic is almost like ASMR if you're into that. If not, oh well. Yep. Oh, so it's just the 4 standoffs there. So we'll go ahead and screw these guys in. Which way do they go? Aha, I almost put them in backwards. So. There we go. So when these are getting installed, it's this side down. I don't know how well you can see that. A little closer. That side down. As I drop it. Careful. All right. Slowly installing. There's never any rush when you're doing this. Take your time. Do it right the first time so you don't have to redo it over and over or potentially break something. Because everyone knows PC parts are hard to get right now and they're expensive. Thankfully, I got this before any kind of weird price hikes went out. And you don't want to break the motherboard when you're doing this. Don't sit there and like wrench them down and crack the board in half or something crazy. Hand tight is good. That's not going anywhere. It's good. All right. Next step. Let's see. Okay, so it's just the bottom line there. And that says to go ahead and swap out the plate on the cooler, which is this guy here. So let's go and do that now. Should be just as easy as twisting and it'll pop right off. Yep, twist and on. There we go. Go ahead and put that, ooh, we can't put that back on. I will do that last just so I don't risk getting the thermal paste all nasty. So we'll leave that covered like that. Keep it nice and safe for now. We know we got to swap out the plate. So we good. Set you over there. And honestly, that's all we need to do until we install that one. So that's good. We have the cooler over here. We'll leave this guy over here. And it looks like we can actually twist the top here to reorient the readout. I will check that when I turn it on and everything else to make sure it's good. All right. That, let's move this guy over here. That way. So there's not really much more we can do to the motherboard right now, and obviously I can't do a test boot because I don't have a graphics card and I don't have any of the drives to put in there. Let's see what these guys look like when you pull them off. I do have 3 M.2 drives. I do have a solid state drive, 2.5 inch, and I do have a 3.5 inch as well. So that's pretty basic. You slide your slot in there, you're good. Looks like it also has a pill here, so you can get the thermal pads going, get good contact. Let's go and put that back on there for now. Just so we don't damage any of the parts there. And this is going to be kind of a pain to do when it's the case is already standing up, which I want to. Everything's okay? We're good. Nothing happened, I swear. Okay. Yep, so that'll be a bit of a pain to do when... Oop, and that did pop out. That's fine. Alright, so that'll be kind of a pain to do when it's sitting up like this, but it shouldn't be too bad. So, right there. We don't need this back piece. We'll toss that back in the box. Keep all of these to the side for now. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is wire the fans into the case. So we're going to very gently take this and set it over here on its box. There we go. And here is the fantastic Lian Lancool 2 mesh. I took the side panels off already to make it a little easier to work in. The glass panels do slide off. Let me rotate this a little here. Well, let's rotate it a little more. All right, so you can kind of get a closer up look here. So you can see there's this here and this up here, which is just slightly out of frame. But the side panels slide directly onto there, directly onto here, and then they swing close. So there is also an included fan hub on here. We will not be using this included fan hub because we have the one for the Lian Unifans. And oh, okay, so this is where my M.2 drive, M.2, where my other drives will. What is that connected to? Oh, okay, there we go. That pops up. Okay, I'm pretty sure I looked at this originally, but I have not touched this case since I got it because I hadn't been able to build in it. Let's see if I'm sliding that back on there. But this is where your 2.5 inch SSDs will be attached to. That's nice. So we'll just go straight down into there, and then there we go. Power going to here. All the connectors and other various boxes here. All right, we're not going to install the power supply yet. I don't want to run all the cables yet. There That was loud. Sorry. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for now is start removing the included fans. Carefully. Very carefully. What are you hitting in the back there? That's fine. Right. Okay. A screwdriver, and we're going to go ahead and start unscrewing everything. Are these screwed in through the front or the back? Through the front. Okay. And that's the back. Okay. So actually, you know, I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. That should be fine. It's the exhaust anyway. We are going to go ahead and take these guys out, though. And this has 2 included fans with it. There's got to be an easier way to do that. I got to stand it up again. It's one of the times where I really wish I had a stand-up desk at home. I'm going to pop this guy off of here as well. Maybe? Come on. Why don't you want to pop off there? Okay, we may need to take the front off here first. And that should be as simple as popping it off at the bottom here. That's what happens when I haven't touched the case in a while. I forget how it works. I don't want to break it, obviously. Let's see. What does that screw into there? So this is a good learning experience for everyone because you realize that you come up against things new that you are not used to when you're building, especially if you haven't built in a while. Jeez, that does not want to come off. I really don't want to break it. Ooh, come on. Let's see if that pops off through here. Oh wait, what is that? Okay guys, give me a second here while I try to figure this out. So what I'm seeing right here, and I don't know how well you can see it, but there's some screws on the side and here. I'm not sure what that's for. I'm going to unscrew that and see what happens. Right there. And okay, so that releases that, it feels like. How do you get to that now? Get it from the other side. Unfortunately, you see all the dust that is built up inside this thing because it's been sitting for so long outside the box. Jeez. Gotta clean it before I've even turned it on. Right. And let's go and just take all these panels off in the back as well. We need to have them off anyway to route cables. And what is, okay, there we go. Put you back over here. And screw you back in there. Right, and this may release the fans. Maybe. We'll find out here in a second. All right, and turn it around carefully. And that mostly released it. Okay, so I do need to get the front off still for that to pop out. Let me see what I can do here. Oh, that is stuck on there tight, and I don't know why. Jeez, and I've had this out of the box for so long, I don't even know where the instructions are for it. So that's always good. Looks like it just pops off. Well, only one way to do it. Hopefully nothing breaks. There it goes. Whew. Okay, that was just on there tight. Okay. Okay. Whew. The funs of building a PC. There we go. And that does slide right off. But of course, it is also wired into the fan hub, which means I need to unwire it from the fan hub. And let's see. I think that's this one here. Okay. Get you out of there. I'm going to disconnect all these anyway. All right, let's disconnect you. Disconnect you. Come on. All right, disconnect you and disconnect you. There we go. And I think this is just stuck on here by tape or glue or something along those lines. I'm going to leave that there just in case for now. The other fan hub, when I get it on, I may stick it to one of these M.2 drive spots because I only have M.2. I keep saying M.2. One of these 2.5-inch SSD slots, just because I'm not going to be using them necessarily. I'll be using one, but not two. So I'll probably put it on this one here. All right, and let's go ahead and move that. And move that. And let's get all the cables nice and free, figure out what's what. Okay, and there's a tie there. There we go. All right, so that's those fans. Now we slide that on out of there. And away. So again, I will be reusing these fans. What I think I'm going to do with these is one of the cool things about the Lancool 2 mesh is that it has intake here on the bottom. And the sides here are mesh as well. You can kind of see through there. See my hand? So it'll pull air through here where the power supply is, but there's enough room there to get a little bit of air through there. So it'll pull it up through here. There is also the hard drive cage down here. What I will end up doing is kind of taking out the top and the bottom one. Come out nice. Setting those to the side. Actually, I may go ahead and leave the bottom one in. That'll give... Oops. Okay, that'll make sure that air can flow through here, up through here. There's a little more room there. Also, you have to see how much room is left here with the radiator, and this should pop off easily. I keep saying, oh, nope, there's a screw there. All right. That's why it wasn't popping off. A smaller driver. Yep. Oh, geez, that is not wanting to pop off. I think it may be stripped. Nope. How close is that one to fitting? That's as good as that one's going to get. Okay. So, very carefully applying some pressure to make sure it doesn't slip out and strip. There we go. I would have liked to have seen a slightly bigger screw on that with as tight as that was in there, because that really did almost strip out. And that would have been bad. That way we got room for the radiator in the front, because that is where I plan on putting it. And to make sure we do not lose the screw that goes in there, since that's just its own little guy, we're going to go ahead and put it back in there and let it live in its home. We're going to keep obviously the little cover here off, that way we can get the fans and radiator in there. And what I want to kind of do real quick as well is see how well the radiator is going to work there. So if any of you ever watched Gamers Nexus, he did a fantastic video explaining how you want to properly mount everything. A lot of people did not seem to understand what he was saying, and they were yelling, and it was a big thing. But essentially, you want the water... Oh, geez. You want it set up so the air gets trapped at the top. So if that's going to go there... Oh, that is kind of tight fit. That should work though. We'll have to put the fans on the outside. So that could potentially conflict with a large graphics card. I may have to do what I don't want to do and put the tubes at the top of the case. It's not going to break anything. It's not going to ruin anything. It just potentially it'll cause wear faster. So, and unfortunately this one does not fit a 360 on top, otherwise I would just mount it to the top, but it only fits a 280 up there. So this one is going to end up having to go the way I don't want to, put it in, which is going to be like this essentially. And the reason I'm doing that is because the space in there is a little tight. The hoses aren't quite long enough. If I get a long graphics card in here, it will not be able to fit. And if I get the 3080 like I plan, those things are not tiny. So that would create an issue. So I'm going to end up having to put it the way I don't want it to, but it will still work fine. It's not going to break anything. As long as I don't notice any issues, it will be fine. All right. So let's go ahead and tilt it this way and unscrew that little cover there. Look at those cables. It's fine. All right. Unscrew these guys. This case was built, I'm sorry, that's probably really loud because I was right next to the mic. Let's go move that back a little bit there. Sorry if it was making weird creaking sounds. This case was built for airflow and cable management, which is fantastic, but it also adds a little extra work for everything as well. I really do need to invest. Oh, that just needed two. Oh, and it's got the cable ties attached to it as well. I was not aware of that. So let's carefully tilt it back up again. And that is attached through there. Going to pull that out. That's good. Okay, so that's out of the way. We'll put that back in later when we're ready to over cable management. Oh, the other cool thing, if you have not watched my unboxing video, is magnetic top. That's just cool. I like it. Nice little magnetic filter up there. Okay, so let's see if we need to install any standoffs, which more than likely I don't think we will, but it's always good to double check. There. All right, and let's grab that motherboard again. And make sure all the holes are accessible except for the middle one. Make sure there's a space there for that. Which there may not be, so I may have to remove that middle standoff. Oh, nope, it's right there. Okay. So what you want to do is some motherboards, like you can see there's a hole right there to screw it, in where my thumb is, as well as one right there. Sometimes the screws are behind the VRM cooler or heatsink, and so you can't reach it. So you just got to make sure that you're actually installing it correctly, that the standoffs are where they need to be, and that you don't have an extra standoff because there's no hole there for it. Let's see here. You can tell it's been a while since I have done all of this from scratch. Okay, there we go. It's in there firm. Okay, so let's go ahead and find those screws in the box and screw it on down. This is the included hardware with a Lian Lancool 2 mesh. Now, let's see. You guys can kind of see through there. That's not really the best shot, though. Let's see. How well does that work? You guys still cannot see that, can you? Okay, so unfortunately the best we're going to get is doing it this way. Let's see if I can, like, kind of set something there so you can just see inside of it a little bit. What do I have? I have some boxes. Here we go. And here's the power supply being used as a little boost. Because that's totally what it's meant for. 4,000 watt power supply. All right. Let's see what we have in here. Okay, we have some zip ties. So there's some zip ties in there. There is some of the some more zip ties, the fancy kind. I don't know if you call that a zip tie or not, but it works. Some mounting hardware of some sort, screws, all that good stuff. Let's see here. Right, and a bunch of little rubber washers. I'm assuming these are for the hard drive cage to help reduce any kind of vibration and whatnot when the hard drive's spinning up. So we're going to put these to the side for now. We won't lose those. And which ones do we use for the motherboard? Okay. Here we go. So I don't know how well you can see these on this camera. I really need a better camera. Let's see, it's not wanting to zoom in on that correctly. But those are the screws to screw the motherboard in. Let's make sure the right screwdriver. Yep. And let's go ahead and start. Maybe. Did that come? Oh, yep, it slid slightly out of place. Let me fix that real quick. What's blocking it? Something is blocking it. There we go. There we go. No. Oh, no, that's right. Okay. You had to do a little adjustment there. Then screw that on in there. Oh, let me. Why is it not letting me screw that in? Is it really just slightly off? Oh, we're having some technical difficulties, it appears. What is going on here? I'm just double checking, make sure all the holes do line up, that nothing is out of place. Mark for ATX. Fine. Everything should be fine. All right, let's try that again. Let's see why it is being rude. There we go. That one's in, but for some reason, just not quite wanting to line up there. Oh, and there's one thing I did forget to do. I think there's a peel on the back here. Nope, there's no peel. Okay. Normally this part isn't the difficult part, so I'm not sure why it is being so difficult. There we go. That felt like it slipped in there and there. Let's try this again, folks. See why it is not wanting to cooperate. Start here this time. There we go. That's going in nicely. Okay, perfect. So it was just not wanting to seat quite correctly, probably because it's at a slight angle. So you guys can see me as I'm working in there. That's just my assumption, and I'm going to roll with it. And again, you don't need to crank these down. You don't need to split your board in half or anything else. Just get them tight, but not too tight. All right. There's 3. And while there are some builders out there who aren't too worried about getting all the screws in as long as it stays, I do try to get them all in. Coming correctly? Yeah, okay. It would just feel like it finished a little fast. And I hate the ones in the side here. They're always kind of a pain to get to. And I might have just gotten that first try. I did. Okay, first try for that one. I realize you can't quite see there. There we go. The very back corner, just barely enough room to get that in there. And there. And now we're going to go for over here and hope I get that in. Oh, okay, I'm having some luck. It went in first try. Giggity. All right. There's that. There. That did not screw in all the way. Why did that not screw in all the way? Oh no, that did. Okay. Some are just a little odd feeling, I guess. So the other thing is, I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera again. Let's see. So if you're looking right there, there's no threads. Threads start about halfway down. So it stops about halfway down. And I know the camera isn't zooming in too good on that, unfortunately. But that's why it just feels a little weird when I'm putting it in there. And there we go. That took a lot longer than the first time for some reason. All right, got this guy right here now then. All right. Is that one? And we have one more to do. Do I have a screw for it? I do not have a screw for it. So the one should be one in the back there, and for some reason I don't have a screw for it, so they shorted me one screw, which is okay. It's not going to kill anything. There's probably some extra ones in here. Let me see. Yep, there's one extra one in there. I'm going to grab that out and go ahead and use that. Get the right screw. There's like 20, 30 screws in this little bag. Only one of them is what I want. Oh, I dropped one. I will have to grab a magnet and find that one later. There we go. Okay. So let's go in here. Nope. Nope. That's not it. It's probably on the carpet somewhere, which means I need a magnet. That will happen after the stream. Oh, geez. Okay. So this one I'm going to need to kind of adjust for myself. I know I just blocked your view. Oh, well, if I remove this, you might be able to see in there a little bit. Oh, that really doesn't do much good, does it? But I'm putting a screw in right here, right back over here. That is a very tight spot to fit. And is there a pill right there? There is a pill right there. Oh, man. Okay, well, that pill's not coming off. It's already in there. I missed a pill, everyone. Okay, there we go. Got it. Now, just screwing that in. Why are you not screwing in? Come on. Be nice. All right, there we go. So, motherboard is secure. Grab this guy. Right back on there. Yep. So now we have the motherboard in there. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is work on getting fans mounted. So we're going to do some fans on the top, some fans on the bottom, some fans over here. We got the one back here. We're using these three. Will be on the radiator. I'm going to go ahead and do them in a push configuration. So it's pushing through the radiator. That can create a slightly more of a mess, make it a little more difficult to clean. But I think that's going to be an easier way to get the radiator in there correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Like I said, I do have another box of the Lian Unifan. Let's go and open that up. And since there's 3 in here, can I fit 3 up top? Would that fit? I'm going to say no. Let's see. That's definitely a no. It will not fit up top. So what I will do then is I will put 2 up here and 1 here. Or the other option is Put the two here on this bottom part, which you can't see now. All right. Oops. I'm just knocking everything over, aren't I? That is my AMD bracket. There we go. Okay. So the way I can do this is move this aside first. Off those extra screws. So the way I can do this is a few ways. And it's kind of hard to see. Okay. That's just not going to work, unfortunately. I can put the RGB fans here on the bottom, and here on the front, and one on the back, and leave the top two as just standard black exhaust fans. There's not going to be anything fancy going on with them. Or put the RGB up top. And the way I have my computer set up, I think it might be a little nicer to have them here at the bottom, since there's RGB here, and the RAM I will be using also has RGB on it. So I'll go ahead and put the RGB fans here, here, and here. The top will just be the standard, no RGB fans, and it'll still cover the whole area with RGB. And usually I just do like blue or something, so it's nothing crazy. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Let's go ahead and start mounting fans. Actually, I gotta take that fan on the back off first. So let's go do that. Where did I put my screwdriver? Oops, I'm knocking everything over. All right, so these are in the back here. Screw that. PC building is not always a fast thing. It sometimes takes a while. We've been going, what, 45, 50 minutes now? 51 minutes. So it does take a little while to do all this, which is fine. You just want to make sure you plan ahead. It's not going to be a quick little 15, 20 minute project. Yep, just holding the fan there so it didn't fall. Once I pulled that last screw out and the fan cable. Okay. So I still have some extra fans because now I have fans from the radiator and fans from the case. So we're going to install this one up top. And should be exhaust that way. If I put this way, that'll just go right through there. Let's go just going that way. Should have left that in that gap there. Let's see if I can kind of show you guys a little more what I'm doing here. Aim that up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, take this fan, stick it on here like this, with the cable going directly through the bracket up here, the grommet up here. Now there is no rubber grommet in there, but it is the little just routing hole there. Put that on here. Let's go ahead and take this off of here. Put that to the side. All right. I'm going to go ahead and then grab these, line it up correctly. Here we go. Get the first one started by hand or not. There we go, that one started. And then kind of catty corner it over here. That way it has support on both sides. There we go. And I can still kind of move and adjust it where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and just keep it as far back as I can go with that. So I'm going to tighten it here. Because the goal, as always, is to get the airflow to flow through the whole case. If you put them all up in the front, it means a lot of the air will just get sucked straight out without going over the actual components. So if you have it further back, it kind of helps it just go all the way back and exhaust out. Go. I really do need a magnetic tray for all these screws. It'd make a big difference. And there we go. That's in place. Used all 4 screws. Leave that there. And now, where are the other ones? Here we go. Let's remove it off of here. Slide the case over real quick. Okay, so it's kind of cool too. So it has like a little bit of a cutout there, just so it doesn't go all the way to the edge. Well, you can see it with the cable there. I like that. It's just a little like life. I think that makes life a little easier for you if you're building. Just that. And typically, what you want to do, you want to try to like keep all the same style fans just for aesthetic purposes, or like make sure, like I had all Noctua fans in the current build. Every single fan in there is a Noctua fan, and they're quiet. Like I don't know if you guys can even hear the fan in that thing running right now, but it's quiet. It's efficient. It's pretty awesome, honestly. I didn't go with them this time because I wanted the Lian one specifically. So I'm going to have some mismatched fans, but really that's not going to hurt anything. Just kind of up to aesthetics, really, and noise. I don't know how loud these fans are specifically. They're going to be exhaust fans, so they're not going to be pulling all the air in. So I can run them a little bit lower than the intake fans. So it's going to be basically going to come down to how loud the Lian fans are. And hopefully they're not that loud. I did see Jay's video on them. He said they had great airflow. He said they weren't too loud. Geez, this was about a year ago, I think he did the video. They've been out that whole time, I think. But they instantly sold out when they were released. The few people that did have them were charging 2, 3, 4 times the amount. And this is before like the CPU and GPU problems where everything was being, scalped and overpriced. But the Lian Unifans were getting scalped like right off the bat. They're unique, they're good, they're awesome. The software for them is supposed to be like really, really good. So they got picked up fast and people were reselling for ridiculous amounts, which is why I had to wait until just a week ago when I was looking again and found them for a good price. The price did go up from original MSRP. MSRP now I think is $80 for them, I think. Which, that's not cheap, but for a pack of 3 and a fan hub, $80 isn't bad, especially when they're RGB. They have good quality and everything else. So, I mean, you can't really complain too much there. I need to see where I'm going to route these at. Let's move these screws out of the way so I don't launch them across the room by accident. So, if we're going to be putting those fans on the bottom, I need to figure out where I'm going to route them through. And oh, there's a huge gap here. That'll work fine. So, essentially, I can route them down through here. There's a gap right there. A gap right there. So I'll route them down through here and probably up and around through here or something like that. So that'll work just fine. Let's pop that back up there. Hopefully not too loud. All right, turn this back around this way. All right, and put that side down like that. We'll put that in the basement for now, just get it out of the way. And, oh no. There are screws in the way. We have to remove those screws first. And these guys are tiny as well. Let's see. That's too small. And that might be a little too big. Let's see if I have a kind of middle size here. And I do not. So we just got to be careful when we take those out. Oops, I dropped the bag. Right. Now I'm applying some downward pressure on them. You can see me like kind of pushing down just to make sure it doesn't slip out and cause the screws to strip. Those are in there really, really good. I think they're too tight for what they are. There's no reason for them to be that intense. Shoot in there. Okay, there we go. Just the two. Okay, it's just the two in the front, so that makes it a little easier. These may be too big for that, actually. This may be a problem. So, those fans don't fit there. I need smaller fans than the, I think these are 140, so I'll need like 120s or something. Let me see. I think these are, yeah, these are the 120s. So, it looks like, that's what I was going to do anyway. I forgot, I was putting those up top and the Lian Lees on the bottom. So that's fine. The Lian Lees or the 120s, they fit on the bottom, it'll be fine. I just have to remember what I'm doing as I'm doing it and not forget like a smarty. Okay. Don't want to strip that. Okay, there we go. And hopefully it's not too echoey in here for you guys either. I just kind of moved stuff around recently. Lost a little bit of my noise dampening. So it's a little echoey now. I did put up my panels, as you can kind of see over here. I got the acoustic panels sitting over there. I guess over here. Right there. Acoustic panels. They could go up the wall and then on the other side. And those do make a difference. They definitely help reduce the echo. Okay, that's not coming out. Oh, that might be stripping. Okay, so that's what I was worried about, is that is definitely too tight. Lian Lee, why do you do this? Oh, jeez. Yeah, that one is just stripping right out. That is a bummer. But see, like I was telling you, that's going to be an issue. I had to find some way to get that out so I can actually put the fans there, though, which is not cool. I'm just slowly try to work it little by little and hope it loosens. I think I'm getting it, maybe. I don't think I am. I think it's just stripping more and more. Let's see, what else do I have here? Nope, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Let's see. Is that gonna get in there a little deeper, maybe? Okay, I think I got it. Okay, got it, good. Oh, as I strip it slightly there. Okay, there we go, got it. So, be aware if you get the Lian Li Lancool 2 mesh, that is an issue. These will literally strip out. Not a good thing to have happen. And why is that just not... There we go. Did not want to pop out. All right, put you over here, put you over here. Got him. Okay. So, let's go and grab the Lian Lees out of here real quick. And you can see it's got all the cabling in here as well. I'm not sure if I can link these together there, if it'll fit. Back over here. I'll go ahead and put them together and see what happens. We're not quite as far along as I was hoping we'd be at this point, but nothing horrible at least. Okay, so again, these are really cool. They just slip right together. And as I say that, they're being a pain. Come on, be nice to me. There we go. Okay, and don't think that's going to work. Maybe it will. That might actually work. Okay. So again, this is right now is pushing that way. So I need to do this. Turn upside down. And I need to figure out which side I'm going to put this guy on. And this is the actual attachment that will go into the fan hub. Just got that there. And this goes on only one way, which goes onto here. Again, you just kind of pop it on and slide it. And there you go. You have your connection. So, if I put this on... Oh. Well, okay, I can go ahead and put it on this way and have them route down into the basement there and then back up again, which is fine. Get rid of the twist ties. And I also have to find a screw that's going to go through that. Hopefully, there's one included here somewhere. Well, hopefully there's 8 of them here somewhere, or at least 4. We can get away with 4, seeing as how we can go 1, 2, 3, and 4. We don't need 5, 6, 7, 8 necessarily. Put that in the basement. Just kind of pull that through so it gets crunched on. Oh no, that will not work because that is teeter-tottering on there. Oh, Lian Lee, why you do this? It's your own product. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pop that apart. And we're going to go ahead and turn this going this way now. Just so make that a little better. Nope, that doesn't go that way. Okay, put that in here like that. And then... And they do provide one of these for each of the fans that are in there in case you do need to split them up. But they do also link together. So depending on whatever your case build is, it should work. Again, taking off all the twist ties, and I'm making a mess everywhere because there's just stuff everywhere on this desk, which is totally normal for building the computer. All right, and again, it goes on right like that. The bottom, you slide it up, and it kind of just clicks into place, and you're good. So let's go ahead and route that through the basement as well. I'm not sure if I'll need to use the included fan hub or not yet, though. Yeah, so you can see it just, I don't know what you can see, there's just a little bit of a gap there, which is why it would not have worked, sadly. It was very close to working, but no. So that's going to pull the air up. We'll have 3 of these on the front pulling the air in. We'll have the 2 just flat black ones on the top, and the other RGB one on the back. And that'll get us all of our air. I do wish you could put a slightly bigger fan on the bottom though, because that would have been nice. But that's fine. And let's see here. Hardware. Where are we at? Okay, I'm not going to need these screws. We'll set those off to the side. And now to dig through all the screws I have and other parts, kits, and see if they have anything that'll fit in there. If these might do the job. Not sure which box these came out of. We'll find out here in a second. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that might be for this actually right here. Let's go ahead and give that a test. And it's kind of hard to tell. You guys have better lighting than I do actually, which is odd because I'm in here, but it's showing up better on the camera than it is here in person, so everything is just kind of dark. But yep, these are the correct screws. Go ahead and lightly screw that in a little bit there. Just get it in place, but so I can still turn it if I need to. All right. And again, I always do the opposite corner there, just to make sure it is securely in place on both sides. That's one of the times where I wish I could like stick my hand through the back here. And I mean, I could if I take all those out, but I'm not going to. It's just extra work. So here we go. Oop, that is not going in straight. Let's try Try that again. Nope. Okay, so let's go and loosen this one a little bit. I'm going to try and look behind there and see what's going on. Fan out of the way. Let's see here. This panel is a little flimsy on the bottom there, so just be a little careful if you're doing that. Just so you don't break anything by accident. Okay, since the back has been a little more of a pain, I'm going to go and loosen up the front. Take that out and get the back ones in first, just to make sure they are properly in place. Just making life a little bit easier. Okay, so why are you not wanting to go in very well? Let's see. That one just does not want to go in, and I don't know why. So it's maybe one of the cases where we skip a screw because it's not cooperating. So let's go get this one here in the other back side and see how that one works. And that one's already feeling better. It's been a little bit of a pain. And I wonder if it's just because they haven't actually had screws in them yet, so they are just a little too tight in tolerance, which would make sense because we had screws in the front but not in the back. And that's a phone call I don't need to answer. All right, so that might just be what it is. It's just a little tight in the tolerance in the back. So what I'm going to do, that's still loose. A little bit tighter there. Oh geez, I don't want to get stuck in there. Okay, that's good, not going anywhere. So what I'm going to do for these ones here, just kind of work that a little bit without the fan in there to make sure it's going to go in nice and smooth. Yeah, that's going in fine there. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll test it right here. Make sure that goes in fine. Little tight still, so let's just kind of work that a little bit, and yep, see, once you kind of get through there it gets better. It's just tight tolerances without having anything screwed in them yet, I think. So we only need just to work a little bit on that just to kind of help us builders out, so we're not stripping screws and damaging parts. No one ever wants that, especially when you have, you know, multi-$1,000 build potentially. In this case, actually, I think last time I looked at the MSRP, it was like $89, which is actually pretty amazing considering like the amazing reviews it's gotten by like anyone who's reviewed it. Even Gamers Nexus gave it a pretty solid review, which is, I mean, getting a good review from Gamers Nexus means you actually did a good job. So, you know they're doing something right there. And I mean, there's enough space here in the front too. You could probably pretty easily do some actual water cooling, hard line or soft line or whatever, but actual like water cooling. So this case has a lot of potential in it. All right, so let's go ahead and try this one here again. No, I'm just not going to go in that corner. It's a little too tight there, and I don't want it to get to a point where that screw gets stuck in here. And in order for me to get this fan out, I'll have to break something to get it out, and no one wants that. So, where'd my other fan go? Oh, right there. Ah. Okay, let's start on the back here first. Oh, that is very, very tight in the back. Okay. Oh, and I think I hear some kids, which means we may start getting a little loud here. Oh no. Is that not going to work? Because of the fan next to it. No, that should work. Oh, that is not wanting to be nice. So, ran into another potential problem here. When you add this little bit to the fan, sorry, let's pull that out. We have this bit to the fan here, since it's not already included, it creates a little bit of an issue. It makes the fan wider, obviously, so you're adding more to the end. So, what I'm going to need to do for this one here is rotate this fan. That way it's not blocking that there. It'll go on this side here and it'll be fine. But that means screwing it in just now, I have to unscrew it. So, good thing I didn't put that in there and get it stuck, because then that would have been bad and sad times. Right. There's that one, and the third one. Just about got it. There we go. So we'll go ahead and rotate it this way. Just, was that 90 degrees, 45 degrees, some kind of degrees? Some kind of degrees. And hopefully that'll fit. Okay, so I'm going to kind of have to wrap the cable a little bit there, because the cable right now is getting stuck on the back of this opening here. So I just kind of have to wrap it around the side a little bit to make sure it'll actually go into its home. The one bad thing about that now is that when you turn the fan, so this side is facing the front, you now see that little bit there, which isn't bad, but it may not be preferred on your build style, your aesthetics, whatever. So just kind of be aware of that as well. Nothing's ever perfect, but I do like these fans, and I am not going to care that the little bit of metal is showing right there. Especially when you have a tempered glass panel that also has some tint on it. You're more likely not going to see that very clearly, so there's no reason to. The only other thing is RGB is here and here, but not here. So it would have been better if it was turned. Can I turn that one more time? Yes, I'm going to have to turn that one more time. So here's what we're going to do. If you ever build your own computer, be patient, because there are little things like this that happen that you have to kind of work out and take care of. I'm going to turn it another little bit here. That's going to be a total of, what, 180 degrees now, I think? Yep, 180. So the connector was on this side here. Well, you can see that. The connector was over here, and now it's over here. So the cable is going to go over here and down through the gap here in the back. But I mean RGB here and here. That way it lights up right on the front, so you can see it, and kind of lights up whatever is right behind it as well. That way it's not just lighting up the side and lighting up the other fan. I think it'll look a little better if it's facing that direction. So let's go ahead and finish installing this one now. Before I screw it in all the way, though, I'm going to make sure that the cable, will make it all the way to the RGB fan hub. Which it should. Especially if I'm putting it on that M.2 slot, which is M.2 slot. The 2.5-inch drive bay, which is like right here, it should have no problem reaching that point at all. But don't want to fully install it and then find out, oh hey, can't do that, it doesn't work. So let me go ahead and flip it around this way so you can see what I'm doing. Now hopefully hit the screws. Let's see here. Here we go. Much easier if you do it the intelligent way. So that'll go right here. And yeah, that'll definitely fit. Now, if I had to go up over here, that even fits up over there. It's just not as pretty. So yeah, that would fit up over here if I had to. So you'd put on the lower ones there. The fan that comes out of here would go probably up around this way and go into, you know, here or something. But 3-pin and 4-pin, fan, fan, fan. So we may need the Lian one anyway. I'm sorry for coughing in all your ear. It happens. There we go. Got a drink and now I'm good. So that'll be fine. I'm going to go ahead and finish installing it. These cables through here. And then go ahead and close that up again with those sticking out. And the Lian unit fans also come with a block fan hub, which, let me find it, it's in here somewhere. Yep. Comes with a fan hub. Actually kind of fancy. Okay, so that's where the adhesive will go there, and then you just kind of stick it right there. But this is going to go right here, I believe. Actually, I'm going to put it like this. I will route the cable probably up through here or through the side, whichever is going to work best. Let's see here. Go ahead and untwist that now, just get a better idea. And if I mount this here, I'm not going to take this off because there's no reason to. It's there, it's whatever, but it's not going to hurt anything if it stays there. And so the thing I don't know about this is, looks like there's a switch or something there, or I don't really know. Or is that to help you pop it out of there? So these may just help you pop the cables out once they're in. So that is a 3-slot there. Which way do they go in? Okay, so they go in that way. So once you slide that in, jeez. Okay, once you slide that in, it barely goes in. Oh, jeez, that is. Speaking of tolerances, jeez. Okay, well, it's in there. It's in there. But it also numbers it, so you know which number is which. But that should allow me to pull it out a little bit easier there, I would think. Wow. They did not make that easy. Okay, that needs some work, but that's fine. It's going to go right here. We'll route that through here and into a connector. Let's see. Let's see where we can route that. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. So this is going to go into one of the headers there. Probably one of the RGB headers. USB, LED. So it's probably going to go into one of those there. My eyesight is not the best. I look like an old man peering into this thing, I'm pretty sure. It's going to have to go into an RGB header somewhere. I will grab the booklet for motherboard here shortly and just get a better view. Where is my... There we go. Let's get the booklet out of here and see what's going on. Well, it comes with a whole bunch of stickers too. Yay, stickers. Alright, here. Oh, it comes with a disc. There's actually a CD in here. Jeez. I mean, I guess some people still use CD drives. I do not. I have not used one in, geez, almost 10 years probably. User manual. Let's see where the hub is. And hardware installation, precautions, install memory, install expansion slot card, back panel, BIOS, configuring, drivers, unique features, appendix. Okay. There's got to be something here about that. Onboard buttons, switches, and LEDs. Nope. Internal connectors. Nope. Alright, let's see what we have here. So there's TPM, LED, C1, USB 2. Let me just go into one of the USB headers then. System fan, panel. I don't know a lot about RGB personally. Usually I just hook up the fan and just kind of go with it. So this is something that's a little new to me, and something that is good to know when you're going into a build, is that RGB is still very confusing if you don't do it on a regular basis. So it looks like what I'm going to do is put it into one of the slots down here labeled FUSB 2. I may be wrong, so I will look into that more. CPU. I don't see like a specific hub for it on there. Let's see. Let's see if it talks about putting LEDs in there. Memory chipset, CPU, audio, LAN, wireless, expansion slots, multi-graphics tech. Okay. We don't use multi-GPUs. USB integrated in the CPU, integrated chipset hub, internal connectors. Okay, here we go. 3 fans, 2 adjustable LED strip headers. LED strip headers. So what are those supposed to be? Those might just be literally only RGB. I'm assuming that's going to be into one of the USB because it's going to be the whole hub. I have not actually worked with the fan hub before, so this is going to be interesting. I will walk at that a little more later so we don't take up all the time while I'm doing this to do that. And again, this is kind of frustrating that won't pop out. I don't know why. Makes me sad, but we will take care of that later. Just going to go back into... I'm going to go and hang out down here for now, just so it doesn't get bounced around any. Okay, let's go finish installing these fans now. All right, and for this one, we can go ahead and keep the connector over here because that's not going to interfere with anything. Place that right. Oh no, that might still be interfering. Oh, Lian Lee, why? I might actually have to turn these sideways. That's really disappointing. Because now that they're this way, I am bumping up with these little feet here that they use to connect them. Like, there's not enough room, or there's... Yep, so that is interfering. If I put it this way... It might work this way, but then that looks funny. Because we're going to have RGB here, 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 and here. And that's going to kind of throw off the flow. I'd like to keep it uniform, but Lian Lee is not making that easy. So I cannot do that here. That's why we had to turn it. Oh, so what I may end up doing... It's putting the... No, I don't have any of the other fans there to put there. Build planning is a good thing. You can plan all you want, and you're going to find things that are not going to work regardless of how much you do plan. This is one of those, unfortunately. It'll fit if I put it going sideways like that, which is unfortunate. If... I'm going to try this one more time and see if I can link them together. That's going to slide in there. Maybe. It's not wanting to be nice. Yeah, it's because it teeter-tottered. It was teeter-tottering before, so it's not going to fit. That is really disappointing, to be honest. So, make sure it's on the correct. Yep. So we're going to have to kind of sacrifice a little bit of our aesthetics for this, unfortunately. I'm going to route that through here as well. It's not what I wanted to do, but unfortunately that is what I'm going to have to do. It should still fit this way. I'm going to test that real quick. If not, it means I have to find other alternatives, which means mounting it up there and ordering new 120s for the bottom here. Is that going in? That's going in. Okay. Let's make sure it goes into the back as well. I'm actually a little sad about this. I'll have to see how RGB looks when it's all lit up and everything, but obviously I can't do that until I install the graphics card and the drives and M.2s and all that stuff. Okay. So they do fit in there. It's going to have to work like that. That's not what I want. What can we do about that? Nothing. We can't do anything about that, which is unfortunate. Can I rotate that? Rotating that. We might have already tried this, and I just forgot we tried it, but I'm going to try it anyway and see how that works. And I think that's just going to be RGB, 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 RGB instead of front and back. It's going to be side to side. Just trying to avoid, but I may not be able to. I bet if you talk to Lian, or, you know, someone who is a lot more known than me, or to talk to Lian, they'd be able to come up with some sort of solution for this, which is, might be something as simple as just some sort of a standoff on the bottom, so that the fans can still connect and everything. It'd be a pretty simple thing to do, I would think. It's just a matter if they'd be willing to. Yep, so that'll work like that. We just have side to side instead of front to back. It's not going to kill anything. It's just not my preference. All right, so let's go install those fans. And again, you don't need to sit there and crank everything down. As long as it's in there firmly, you're good. Especially with these where the tolerance is kind of tight already. You don't want to strip anything out and then get your fan stuck in there. The only way to get the fan out without destroying the fan would be actually cut the metal all around it. And no one wants to do that to a brand new case, to their fans, anything. So just be aware. That's the thing. Don't over tighten stuff. If you get stuck, that kind of sucks. You may be able to find tools. I forgot we can't use that back slot because it was too tight on the tolerance. You may have some like tap and die sets or something along those lines that might be able to help you out there, but these are very tiny screws and that may not be a valid option, especially not everyone has a tap and die set. So it's definitely something that the average person won't be able to do on their own. Okay, and fan is securely in there. And let's go ahead and finish putting this guy in here now. Now, fans do cause vibration if they're not secure in there, which is why you want them firm but not overly firm. That tolerance in the back is still tight. It's actually making my hand a little tired. Okay. Typically, all you need for any PC build is a Phillips head screwdriver, like this. It's usually all you need for a build. I can't guarantee that's all you'll ever need, but typically that's all you need. So those are in there. They're going side to side instead of front to back. Will live. And it also now has the little shiny bit in the front. The panels on there won't be as visible. I could have probably turned it again and had one of the connectors on the front here, but that is very tight tolerance as well with the glass, so I'm not going to risk that. So we got our fans installed. There and there. Let's go ahead and get one of these other fans here installed. And route that straight through there. And we're going to make that an exhaust fan. What are you stuck on? Don't be stuck, please. There we go. Okay. So now I got to find out what I do with the other screws there. Oh, these are different size fans. Okay, so and take this 120 out from there. Oops. That way we get some better airflow, and it won't need to spin up as fast either. Let's see here. I'm not taking the screws all the way out just so it doesn't fall. Go sliding. Oh geez. Might help to have a magnetic screw though. Okay. Go. There we go. All right. So that fan is now out of there. Go ahead and install that 140 up top now. And we'll put this one through the back instead of the front. And for anyone who is watching, at any point in time, I am obviously not a professional builder. I don't build these for a living. I don't do this on a daily basis. I have not built a computer from scratch in like 2 years. So any difficulties I'm having, these are some of the difficulties you may have if you're not a seasoned builder. So hopefully this is kind of good for you to kind of see what to expect as well. There are a lot of big YouTubers out there, big name, ooh, and that's a screw that just fell through. Big name YouTubers out there that do this for a living, and there's a lot of times they kind of forget about these little things. And it's not that they are doing bad or anything. It's just they don't do it on a regular basis. They kind of forget these are the difficulties people have. It's just kind of what comes with it. Take someone who's experienced with someone who's not experienced, and occasionally things get lost in translation. Yeah. There we go. I had to mute real quick. Didn't want to cough in your guys' ear again there. That way. So again, if you are a new builder, if you haven't built a whole lot, if you haven't built anything in a while, hopefully this is kind of helping you to realize what you may expect and just kind of look out for things as they happen. Where did that screw go? Oh, there it is. That's the easiest I've ever found a screw I dropped. I'm okay with that. There we go. Nice and sturdy in there. Some exhausting. Ooh, there we go. And let's go and get the second one here as well. Oh, and just caught on something else. There we go. Let's figure out where we got some more screws at. So this is one of the times where having a magnetic tray would come in very handy. Let's see here. That's not that. Where do I put the screws for these guys at now? One moment, folks, while I try to hunt down the screws I did have and moved somewhere. It's also something to expect. Oh, here we go. I'm blind. They are all right here in front of me. All right. So, put those guys right there. Put that to exhaust. And boom, right through the back. if I can get that first one started. There we go. Now I'll get this one over here going. There we go. And one of the things you can do if you have extra fans as well is set up your radiator so it has push and pull configuration. So you have fans that are pulling in and pushing air. It'll help set the fans lower so they won't ramp up as high. And it will help performance slightly. That just spun in place, which it shouldn't be doing. Never a good sign. Maybe a pain to get that out of there at some point. Okay. There we go. And in place, it's sturdy. You can see my whole thing shaking as I do that. Okay. Fans installed. Now I got to install one back here. And that'll be the third Lian out of this pack. Right, and should be a connector over here. And it's a good thing that fan hub has plenty of spots on it. I do also have a second fan hub since I bought two of the kits there. So if for some reason I run out of space or whatever else, I can always just hook up the second one. For fans that just need fan control and nothing more, like the two up here that don't have any RGB, I can put that into the original Lian fan hub included. All right, so we're going to go ahead and install this guy again. And boop, there we go. It's in the, oh, nope, it's not in there all the way. Why are you being weird? Okay. All right, and it's in there all the way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and have this one as an exhaust. So it's going to be going this way. And this right at the top, so we can just put it right through the case there. I'm going to have to kind of route it a little funky because I put the other fans in there already. So let's... I shouldn't have put those in yet. I should have routed these in. I'm probably going to have to take this fan out anyway. The one on the top here, so that I can put in the power cables there. And those pull through. Oh, you're not all the way through, are you? Come here. Come here. Come on. I got it. Okay. We're good. Mostly. Why are you all tangled? Be nice. There we go, there we go. All right, perfect. So this will only fit a 120 mil fan in the back, so that works perfect. And she has more screws right over here. Started. I'm going to go ahead and lower this one down a bit here. That way it'll give me more room to kind of work in here if I need to, instead of right up at the top, kind of blocking everything. If I can get it in there. Come on. Hopefully these screws will also work for these fans, as they are different fans. I don't see any reason they wouldn't work. There we go, yep, they work just fine. Okay. Excellent. And again, do the caddy corner. That way you get both sides securely in there. If you've ever changed a tire, it's kind of the same idea where you kind of do the star pattern. It's a good way to keep everything in there correctly. and tighten it down uniformly. So just keeping it kind of secure while you're doing the work. And again, I'm pushing on the bottom part here, not the fan itself, so I don't damage the fan. Just while I kind of hold it in place. All right, so we got those installed. We got those installed. That's in there nice and secure. All right, so we are finally getting a little closer now. I was going to pull air directly over, so that'll be nice. Right there. So we're going to move the 120 mil out of the way. It's going to go live in a box for a while until it's needed for another build of some sort. And let's go ahead and work on getting the radiator and other fans set up on here. I took this out. So, move those out of the way. Let's get these empty bags out of the way as well. There's the extra screw. That'll also go into a box to save for a rainy day when I run out of screws that I need, which always happens. So, let's see how we want to do this. If I put this on, make sure I'm putting it the right side up. Is there a right side up? There is. Okay. So how did I take this out of here now? Okay, so that kind of goes in at a bit of an angle and slides on in, which is kind of cool. I like that. Makes it a little easier to get in and out. So I need to see how much space is in the front for fans if I do it that way. If I grab you guys and make you into intakes, how much space is left for that front cover? So let's see here. We should have screws that go all the way through. Should be in the keyword. Some of these screws here, some of these screws here are the correct ones. Don't know what that goes to. Let's see. These may have been the screws I needed for the radiator. Maybe. That's why it's always good to keep extra screws around just in case. And let's see here. Aha! There's some more screws. Going on there. I'm going to drop my AMD bracket. Here. And let's see, do we have any long? Yes, we do have plenty of long ones. Perfect. So that'll go all the way through. So, the way you can tell, it'll go through and just into the radiator. How well can you see that? You can kind of see it. There you go. So it's to sticks out just enough, you can see that, to stick into the radiator. So, let's go ahead and do a fit onto here. Make sure I don't hit my 4K monitor with that, because that would be a very bad day. And grab the radiator from here. Slide that on into there. And as I'm running out of hands to move stuff with, this aside real quick. Along with that, and I'm going to move the case out of the way so I can work on that. So, let me see, that'll line up on here. What I'm going to go ahead and do is try to get a little bit lower on the end there. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and set that up right here. And now I got to match that all the way through into here. Okay. This is the fun part. Let's see if I can kind of prop it up right there. It's much easier when you're not trying to keep a camera focused on what's going on and your face out of the way. Let's move that over here. Okay. Here. One of the times where I could use another arm. Okay, there we go. So I got the first one sort of in there. We'll tighten that just a bit to get the other ones going next. You want to be very careful not to puncture your radiator. If you do that, the whole thing's done. They do not sell, well, they sell replacement radiators, but these aren't meant to really be used in that manner. Don't puncture your radiator, folks. It is not a good time. Okay, so I got the top in there. Like that. Let's go ahead and fit the bottom in there now. And there's now too much weight for the lines to kind of keep that up. So very carefully set it like that. Okay, so I'm only going to do 4 at first to make sure the front of the case will actually install. As I make a mess. Okay. There we go, got it. I think. Maybe not. Cannot see into the gap there to see if I'm actually screwing it in, and I am not. Okay. Let's see if I can line that up without actually seeing what I'm doing. I can't. Okay. So we're going to loosen the top ones up a bit. So you get a little more play in there. Go, just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Oh geez, that's really hard to see. Okay, I think I got that in there. Yep, feels like it. Nope. Except I got it in the wrong hole. So there's 2 different slots on here. One is for 120 size fans and one is for 140 millimeter fans. And I put it into the 140 instead of the 120, which is why it was not happy. There we go. There we go. Now it's catching. Okay. It's catching and it's straight in there. We're good. I may need to lift it up a little bit, actually. That's also why you don't tighten it all the way down, so you can kind of adjust this as you need to. You kind of see that going back and forth. And then you can tighten that up once you're actually ready and everything is in place where it needs to be. Let's make sure I get that one here as well. And really, since they're all connected, you really only need the outer 4 ones. You don't need the 8 for the inside there. If you're getting a lot of vibration, a lot of sound, a lot of annoyance, yeah, put them in. But more than likely, that should be fine. They're all pretty secure in there. I may go and put like one here and one here just to avoid any potential issue, but it should be fine. All right, so let's move this back over here real quick. And let's grab the case. Put the case back over here carefully. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and very carefully slide that on in there. Don't break anything. Okay. And then that's going to go into the slot here where it kind of slides in all fancy like. It goes right in there. Okay. So this really does have a lot of play in there. So what I need to do now is tighten that in there with one of the screws that I just moved out of the way, which is this guy here, I'm pretty sure. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to tighten it just enough so it doesn't slide around anymore. And I may need to do something with those before I can put the front on. Okay, just tight enough so it's going to stay in place. Go ahead and unwrap that real quick. And the good thing about these Lian Unifans, since they're all connected, you only have 2 lines coming off instead of potentially 6. It could be up to 6, really, because of RGB. So go down from potentially 3 to 6 to 2. Which makes this so much easier to build with. So much less cables to manage. Alright. And I'm going to rotate that a bit so I can see if I can put it somewhere. Where can these fans go? Oops. Let's untangle that a little better. So we can go right through here. There we go. Right through there. Put those out of the way. Do the same with this one now, maybe. I don't think that's where they're supposed to go through. There's several holes in the back there, but let's take that out of there and go through the easier one to get to. Just make life easier. Actually, no, that may be the only one I can go through. Yep, so we're going to leave it through that. Pull that on through. And it makes sense to just go right through there, right? Except it doesn't fit. And that's where the actual front panel will clip back into place. There we go, got it. Okay, so feeding that through. You see how nice that is? Like, 2 cables, that's it. That's it. All right, now let's grab that front panel and let's see how that works. One of the things that GamerTrem has found when they were doing their testing is that this little gap here at the bottom, there's no filter for it. The air can go right into there. So when it's on the bottom, he actually said, like, put some tape or something on there. I have black electrical tape. I may go ahead and do that. Oh, that's plenty of room in there. Okay, so that's going to fit perfectly. All right. So I'm not going to go and put that on there yet. There's plenty of room. The cover will fit on there nicely. The other option I can do is also put some more fans on the other side to help with airflow, which, I mean, we've got an extra 120 sitting right over here, but it's a matter of how am I going to get it in there without puncturing anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and tighten these in place now. I actually want to move that up a little higher. So I'm going to loosen it, loosen the bottom ones. And the reason why I want to move it up higher is because that maybe as far as that goes up. Yeah, that's as far as it goes up. The bottom of the case doesn't need airflow. There's no reason to have airflow on the bottom. You want it over the parts, and you want it to go through the radiator. So that's why I'm trying to get it as close to the top as I can to go ahead and keep the airflow going directly through. So we're going to go and tighten it now. There we go. There we go. And again, you don't have to like manhandle it and force it in there. Just make sure it's sturdy, it's not going anywhere. You'll be fine. There's that. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple more just to help stability. I mean, So they're pretty good, but there's still room for vibration. Alright, I am not used to talking so much, so my throat's a little dry, making me cough, so I muted the mic so you guys didn't have to hear that. Oh, and that did not actually connect with anything, did it? There it is. Let's see if that connects in properly. Yep, there we go. It's screwing in. There we go. And I'll put another one right there. And that'll keep it nice and secure in there. There shouldn't be any extra movement or vibration. If I notice anything, I just got to pull the front off and put that in there. That's good. It is not going anywhere. It's not going to vibrate. It's not going to do anything crazy. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take that 120mm and go ahead and just put it on so that it is helping the airflow to kind of pull through there. Because in the long run, it's not going to hurt anything. It'll actually help the performance a little. Plus, we'll get a little extra airflow going in the case to help cool the parts. Now, there's a couple places I can put that, obviously. Let's go ahead and rotate this so you can see. All right. So, the graphics card is going to be right here. Now, the CPU is up here. RAM's right here. You're going to have the air kind of blowing through. It has to force its way through the radiator, so it kind of slows it down a little bit. I do actually have more 120mm fans, so I might just put those in there. I don't know. I'm going to think about that because that's going to add a lot more cable management, and that's what I'm trying to avoid is the actual cable management. So I have the RGB facing out on this when it could have been facing in. Not a horrible thing. So I have some lights here, light here, lights here. And this is going to light up a little bit too. Oh man. Kind of makes me want to get some more RGB. If I got another set of the unifams, I could put those right here, which I may actually end up doing because that'd be nice. Just one more set going right here, straight through the side. I might end up doing that. Right now, I'm not too worried about it. But that's something you can kind of think of, like as you're going through a build, you see something you don't like, something you want to change, it's okay to go ahead and change it up a little bit. It's totally fine. It's not going to hurt anything. And my current case doesn't have any RGB in the front anyway. So it's not like I'm going to miss anything out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and toss this guy in here, though, and route it through here. Like that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and center it. That'll help get some extra air going over the graphics card. Extra air on the graphics card is always good, which is why I put these down here to help pull air up into it. Oh, there's going to be a lot of air on the card. I could put it up here to help with the cooling on the RAM and the VRM up here. There's options. There's always options. I'm not going to sit there and test every single possible configuration. I would probably lose my mind if I did that. But we'll go ahead and put this in the center. I mean, that's a fair place to put it. It'll help airflow go through there. Yeah, so that's where we're going to put that. So let's go ahead and slide that through there, and right there. Okay. Just kind of get it started without too tight. That way I can move it around if needed. And get the other screws going. Move that a little closer to myself. I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing when I have it this way, but I'm pretty sure you guys can guess. I'm installing a fan carefully. So here's one of the other things that kind of happens. Screwdriver don't fit all the way to the back. I have a short one here somewhere. It's not short. I had a short one here somewhere. Ah, there it is. But that may not fit either because it has a T-handle on it. But we'll go and try that. And nope, actually that fits perfectly. Excellent. So it's always good to have a short screwdriver with you when you're doing a build. Because there's sometimes you have a tight fit where a full-size screwdriver is not going to work. I mean, you see how far back it's going from the RAM. The RAM is right here. There's no way that's going to fit in that gap. And I wouldn't necessarily suggest a T-handle. That's going to give you a lot of torque on there, which you don't want. You don't want a lot of torque. That is when things snap and break and strip, and not in a good way. So, if you have something like that, you just got to be careful to make sure you don't over-torque it. If you don't over-torque it, it's good. You're fine. And again, normally I would put the lines on the bottom. However, when I was testing it, it just barely gets there, which means if there's a graphics card right here, it's not going to go over the graphics card. These lines just aren't quite long enough, so that's the unfortunate part there. So we are putting them on top, which not recommended, but it's not exactly super frowned on. It's just something to keep in mind. And I guess there's washers here. I could use washers too, but again, you're not sitting there torquing things down. You don't really need that kind of support for it. And see, here's the issue where now the T-handle is now hitting the SATA ports. But now I have this guy that'll work right here. So while you only need a screwdriver, you may need different length screwdrivers. It's always a possibility. Sometimes, depending on who you get your parts through, they include little cheap screwdrivers about like that big. I mean, that's more than enough to fit in there. Yeah. So sometimes you get lucky and get one of those little tiny screwdrivers. I have one here somewhere. I think it's in my parts drawer. I'm not going to worry about it too much. All right, that's on there firm. Not going anywhere. So we can go ahead and install this now. Before I do that, I want to take a look and make sure I am doing that one correctly, because this will actually read a display, or has a display on it. And I want to make sure I have the display facing the correct direction. So let's grab the booklet, which I tossed over here. All right, and we can wait to swap out the bracket. So let me swap out the bracket with this one here. But I want to see which way the temp orients. Let's see, preparation for AMD. That's that, that's that, that's that. Okay, so if you look at the picture right here, I don't know how well that's coming through, but it's showing that the 32, the temp, with the lines on the right side, is right side up. So, if I, let's see. So, if I put that like that, that should work fine. Ooh, actually, that may be enough line. I mean, yeah, because it's going off right here. It'll be going... Oh, guys. I'm going to swap it. Because that should still get me... Well, so there's going to be that card right there. It's going to be kind of pushed over to the side, funky-like. Oh, man. I may go ahead and just finish this up, make sure it's going to boot, and as long as everything boots, I'm going to turn that upside down, or put these on the bottom, because that does have a little bit more space than I thought it would originally. I was wrong when I guesstimated on the length, because you see that going right here, going from here to here. I mean, that's at the halfway point already. That could just go right on down there. So I'm going to go ahead and do a test boot of everything, and then figure that out. Which, in order to do the test boot, I have to shut down the current system because that's got my graphics card in there as well as my drives. So right now this thing cannot power up no matter what I do to it. So let's toss this over the side here. And let's make sure I have the right screws when I tighten that on there. Here we go. Standoffs. There's that. Oh, and they're even saying that this can rotate So this can even be facing down like this, which means that's even closer to the bottom. And that should be able to rotate up. I'm not sure how that works, but it says it can. So that's something I will do here shortly. Let's go ahead and pop that off. Pop that off. And we'll put this guy on. There we go. And there's thermal compound on there, so I want to be careful. And the good thing about when I do go ahead and swap that out after doing all the test boot and everything, I have the other thermal grease, which is probably higher quality than this. That'll go on there, but that is kind of small. I don't know how well that's going to spread out. I'll check thermals once I boot it up and go from there. Let's see. Which mounting hardware do we use? Okay, so that's just the one type, which is right here. Okay, this is the one type. So that's on there. Let's open up the baggie. And this is one of the times you really need to make sure you evenly distribute the pressure on something. All right, let's make sure that'll go on there first. There. Yep, okay. So when you're mounting the cooler on there, you really have to make sure that you're evenly distributing that pressure. Oh, that is not on there correct either. Put you on this way. I'm going to need that facing like this. That. There we go. So that'll go on like that. Okay. And that's kind of blocking that a little bit there on the bottom. I really can't see too well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get these started on there at least. So I'm going to get these started on there. Oh, that is still rotated. That is not the way I want it on there. Oh, so that's how you rotate it. Yep. That's already kind of on there. Not how I wanted to do it. Okay. So that's going to go like that. I need that on here like this. Being careful not to touch the back plate or the cold plate. Oh, that's why it didn't go on correct. That. Oh, geez. I am not doing this very well at the moment, guys. All right. So this is going to go on this way. Which means this needs to go on this way. So which way is which on this thing? Okay, so that should line it up just fine now. Okay, there we go. It's lined up. We're good. Oh, man. Building computers can be a little exhausting, even though all you're doing is just like screwing things in and moving light things around and whatever. But it can be a little tiring. It's fine. And this does have cables on there I have to connect. As this little assignment here says, connect all cables before turning on. Because that is for the pump control, and we kind of need that in order to keep the system cool and not overheating. There we go. And this is one of the ones where you actually want a good amount of pressure on there. You don't want to, again, you don't want to snap anything. You don't want to snap your board in half. But finger tight does not work with this. You get it finger tight first to make sure everything is roughly even. That one is not all the way tight. And then you can go ahead and tighten it a little bit more with the screwdriver. I'm excited to get this thing started. Okay, so I'm going to double check and see what they say about mounting pressure on here. See if there's anything they want you to do specifically to test it. Let's see. Here we go. That is not in English. Here we go. Place pump with the retention bracket. Yep. It doesn't say how tight to make those. It actually does not say, which is odd. So I want to make sure those are tight, but not overly tight. It says thumb screws, so I'm going to assume they want thumb pressure. Oh, and I have a notification here. Give me 1 second to check that. It might be someone telling me something's wrong with the stream. Hopefully not, but I will double check. Nope, you're good. That is for another server. Good. All right, so that is on there. It's on there nice and secure. Thumb screws are tight. All right. I mean, we're getting there, folks. There's not much more we can do at the moment, unfortunately, but we can go ahead and wire all the fans in. Oh, and we got to wire that in as well. Where are those cables at? Let's see. I should have looked at that beforehand and at least installed them beforehand as well. Oh, geez. Why are there so many cables in TXT? Why? Can't you have, like, 2 cables max? Not, like, 6? Alright, so that's going to plug into there, and I can't see which side is which on that. I'm going to assume that's going to go off that way. Where is... Oh, it's up here. Okay. You're going to go, I'm assuming, this way, but I cannot see. Let's test that. The USB cable. You never get it right on the first try. All right. Why is that not wanting to work? And I can't look down through here because I have fans installed. Let's see. All right, come here. Instructions. Let's see. Since I can't see that anymore. Do you not tell me which is which on there? Here we go. Okay. So it's showing the line going off to the left of it. So it should be going off this way here. It should just, yep, there we go. It's just kind of a weird slot in there. Oh, and what does that plug into? It should just be one of the... Connecting the USB cable, connect the micro USB cable from the pump to the available USB 2.0 internal connector on the motherboard. Okay, so it's going to go to a USB 2.0 connector, which is going to take up one of our USB 2.0 connectors. Should be on the bottom there. And we're going to do something fancy here, like this, so I can see what I'm looking at. Make sure I don't bend any pins. Okay, so that's going to go on that one right there. I don't like that there's so much extra. Can I route that somewhere? I'm going to route that through the top, down through the bottom. So let's route you right through here. Like that. Okay, we're going to route it through the bottom here, like that. And through the basement there. There you go. So, I don't know how well you can see that. Let's get the light back on there. So the line is going from here, up into here, around the back of the case, up through the basement, where I'm going to put the power supply here in a bit, and into one of the USB 2.0 hubs. And, okay. gotta make sure I get this right so I don't bend pins. You never want to bend pins on a motherboard. It is bad. You're gonna have a bad day if you do that. Do not bend pins. Alright, so did that go in? Yeah, it's in. It just doesn't feel very secure, but it's in. Okay. So we got that part of the pump, and now we need power, which is this crazy amalgamation of cable here. Why is this all necessary? Is this just... What are you doing to me? NZXT, what are you doing here? I don't know why there are so many cables here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 ends on this, and I don't know why. So, back to the instructions, figure out why there are so many of them on there. And let's see what they say. Let's put that away. Connecting SATA power. Wait, what is this? Powering the fans. Oh, that is for the fans to plug into. Oh. Oh. So the fans are supposed to plug into that. Fans are supposed to plug into here. Those are essentially 4 pins. Let's see what... Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's see if I can plug those in. Here, if I find them. Here we go. So there's a 4-pin there and a 3-pin there. What I may end up doing... I'm not sure how well that'll work. There's a 4-pin, 4-pin. Okay, so that'll work into that. That's the 4-pin connector there. Oh, geez. I'm not sure how the RGB is going to sync with that, though. That's the problem. So I want the RGB to sync. So to get the RGB to sync, I need to put it in through there. There is one fan here, though. So I can go ahead and plug that fan into here and then manually control the speed of these, which I'm going to manually control the speed anyway, so it's not going to make a big difference. And this, at least, will ensure that the cooler isn't freaking out, saying that there are no fans hooked up, which can sometimes happen. And which side do we actually plug in there? I'm going to assume... Plug in the big one, maybe? Oh, N60. Why? Okay. SATA. Oh, their whole thing doesn't look right. Connect micro USB cable. Okay, that's not the one I want. Powering the fans. Connect the fan cable to the first fan header on the breakout cable. Set with 4 pins. Use the remaining fan connectors as needed. Okay. I'm not sure if I actually need to plug that in. Because that should be getting power for that. And those are just fan cables. Connecting the pump. Oh no. Connect the 3-pin connector on the bracket cable, breakout cable. They call it a breakout cable, I guess. Okay, so we do have to connect that regardless. We just need to figure out which connection is the correct connection that connects into this guy. I don't know which that is. Oh, okay, that's why they're showing it this way. So that plugs into there, but I don't know which way is which. Is there a different way? Well, looks like it's keyed to only go in one way. I should have done this before I installed it. Let's see here. cannot see which way the key's in. Okay. I have to do some trial and error here. Gently trial and error to figure out which way that is supposed to go in. Oh, did I actually get it the first try? Really? How often do you get any cable in on the first try? I mean, really, that's... I don't think that's in all the way. No, that definitely wasn't in all the way. You know, I'm going to have to take that off. Just going to slip that out so I have it plugged in. It's not going to hurt the thermal compound to be removed right now. Just usually not recommended. All right. There we go. That's coming off nicely. Okay. Nope. Another thing I'm going to have to do, since this is a 5000 series chip and a board originally manufactured for 3000 series, I will have to do a BIOS flash. It will not boot up without that. So that's one of the other fun parts of this. Because this board was bought as soon as I found out that AM4 would still support, or that the X570 series AM4 would still support the 5000 series. Come on, pop off. Okay, it popped off. There we go. All right, slide that on off of there. Ugh. That is not very good coverage either. I don't like that. I may end up applying my own again at some point here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this connector. There we go. And this is a fits one way only connector. And I may have actually had it that first time. Oh wait, nope, it's going in a little bit further. Okay, it's in there. It ain't going anywhere. We're good. So we do need to get the pump header going. I think that's what this is the pump. And let's carefully let that kind of hang so thermal paste doesn't touch anything. What do you plug into? I mean, really, what do you go to? Is that power? That's SATA power. Okay. So we will need to do that. So that'll get routed through the back. These are for the fans. And this is for unknown. 404. What are you for? Alright, so it's two connectors I may need to plug in. I believe this is probably going to be for the fans. This is probably going to be for the pump. I don't know. We are checking that out right now. Okay. CPU fan is the 3-pin, so that's a 3-pin. We don't need to worry about that one, since we are not plugging the fans into this. We will be plugging them into the hub in the back. And then RGB LED for lighting control optional. Okay, so this is for RGB, which we should be able to plug into panel in the back. So this is extra because we're using our own fan hub. This is for power, SATA power, which is weird. Okay. And then that'd be for the fans we're using, which we're not, so it's going to be extra. And that's going to be for RGB. So basically, we need these two. And we have all these extra connectors. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get this guy back in here. I am going to re-thermal paste that when I flip the radiator later, because I do not like that spread on there. Okay, let's screw that in. Jeez, just throwing all the screws everywhere. Okay, let's go down here somewhere. There we go, got it. Oop, and there's my Fitbit. there. And a cop. Okay. Let's get these other ones started now. And we've been going at this for a while, haven't we? A little over 2 hours. Again, if you're building your own PC, be patient. It does take some time. It always takes time. Especially if you're doing some troubleshooting along the way, if you're having to reorganize what you're doing, all that kind of stuff. Okay, this is the part where I'm going to go ahead and evenly tighten everything down. And also there's only 4 parts. You can't really do a star pattern, but you can do alternating. Bottom left to top right to top left to bottom right. If I said that right in my head. Okay. It's tight. It's tight. And go a little tighter. There we go. There we go. All right. That feels like a good connection to me. Extra. I just need those two, so let's see if we can route these. So we will have the cover, so we don't have to see these like being all nasty and everything. I wish those didn't exist though. It's just so much extra. Okay. We'll need SATA power, which should have the cables here somewhere. Here we go. Zip ties, cables. That is not SATA. Okay. So that one will obviously get out of our power supplies. Looking for some of the other ones there. We're good. And move that aside. So let's go ahead and start running our cables where we can. That's looping down that way. That's going to go in there. All you cables go in here. What are you? You go over there too. Oh, and we can plug this guy back in here. We don't want our pump to not run. That makes bad things happen, and everyone is sad if your pump does not work. All right, so now we have this tangle. Oop, and sorry about that. You guys probably heard all kinds of crazy banging because I just hit the mic. All kinds of craziness going on here. All right, so what all do we have here? What is this? Ooh. Okay, so that's gonna be some USB. Okay. That's what we have here. And that's gonna be the USB 3.0 header. Let's see if we can route that through the bottom as well. We should be able to, so I'll just stick that through there now. And then make sure this is out of the way. Okay. And please do not judge my cable management too harshly. I already know it's going to be an abomination, but I will try. Right, so these are fans. Yep, we're going to want all those plugged into this guy here. I still don't know why that one will not pop out now. I don't want to pull on it too hard and then break it. But that is firmly in there. It is not coming out. I don't know why. Oh, really? Is that what that is? Nope, that's not. I don't know. I'm not going to touch it. It's in there. That is staying in there. That's where it lives now. I really hope I don't ever have to remove that fan. Okay. One there. This one here will go on to that. So it's 4, 3, 1, 2. There's extra stuff on here. I don't know why. We may need that second hub. Okay, so you're going to go onto there. Oh, I see why. Okay, duh. So let me make sure I have those fans cables correct. There. All right. Oops, as that falls, it's fine. You are right there. Get that out of the way, just so I know what's what. Okay. That's why. Okay. I see what's going on now. I do see. Okay. Oops, sorry about that again. All right. So when we're looking at this, there's a 3-pin and a 4-pin connector for the Lian fans. So these two here go to one fan. If it'll plug in. Why are you not plugging in? Why do you have to be so difficult? There we go. All right, so that is one fan there, which means the next fan will go into there. So let's go ahead and find what I did with those cables now. I really do love this just folds right on down. It's so handy. Okay, where are you at? So where are you at? Jeez. Oh, come on. And got it. Maybe. There we go. Got it. Okay. So, fans there. Fans here. And they do have some weird looking connectors, that's for sure. Okay, so that's going to go in this way. And you're going to go in that way. Okay, so we have the two bottom fans into our fan hub now. This is going to go into one of the USB 2.0 slots. And then our front fan here. Let's move these out of the way for now, as much as we can. Right, and that's for those. Well, I don't know, we'll leave those right there for now. Okay, so this is going to be for the whole front end here. Number 2 goes to the front. And print that in correct. Okay. And there. There we go. So it's starting to come along. There's still lots of crazy cables going on back here, but nothing too crazy. And then we're going to go ahead and mount that right there. Could even mount that like kind of going this way. I don't know. Find out, but we'll zip tie those together here at some point. We have these fans at the top, which I'm going to go ahead and use the included fan cable or the fan hub for those. Since there's no RGB on them, I don't really care. And which way do these go on? Okay, fan 1. Going right there. Why are you not going on? Don't you want to go in your hole? Come on. There we go. It's going into fan 1, maybe. There we go. That is a tight tolerance. I never like when tolerances are that tight. Right, and then you're going to go in right there to fan 2. All right. So we have the 2 top fans in. We have the back fan hanging out here. So that's going to go into this one here. And this will be all of our Lian Lees plugged in now. So we do not need the second fan hub for the Lian Lee fans. Okay. There we go. So all of our Lian Lee fans are plugged in now. We just have to make sure we don't make a mess of everything else here now. Right, that's the fan. That's going to go through there. That's going to go there. It's already plugged in. So we can like kind of route those like get a zip tie right there for those. Let's go and do that. Actually, I'm not going to zip tie anything right now. I'm going to use twist ties just in case I need to move something around because I hate having to cut zip ties. Especially when you're right next to a very important cable. I don't like having sharp things next to cables. There we go. That's zip tied in there. There's no... Oh, that's what I can do with that. So what I can do is pull that through there. It's a little connector there to put the twist tie on if I can get it to go through. That's going to be the question. Can I do it? There we go. Got it. Okay. So we'll run all of these lines right through there, and that'll make it a little bit cleaner. It's not super tight, but it is still better than it was. This one, I probably should have gone through there as well. I still can. Let's go ahead and loosen that up. Let's grab you, put you through there. Arrange all those. Get the twist tie. Jeez, come on. Oh, jeez. So many cables. So many cables. This is why cable management is important, so you don't lose your mind when trying to work with anything in the case. There we go. And it's not perfect, but it is better than it was. Okay, we need to pull that one a little tighter. There we go. I could probably zip tie those up over here too or something, just to kind of make that look a little better. That's coming off right there. So there's going to be some extra in here no matter what I do. Let's see if I can do that. And we're just going to kind of flip that through here. Through here. Probably shouldn't bend those that way. Okay. So I can get a zip tie or something right here for these. It makes it a little bit cleaner in the back. So our twist tie. We got plenty of those laying around. Pass it through here. And we don't want to get it all super tight and done because we still have to pass through power cables up here, which means we're going to need to remove that fan to make it fit a little easier because that is a very tight fit. Let's grab the power supply. Oh, and this is a hefty power supply too. Like, no joke. It's a 1000-watt platinum. It's heavy duty. It's amazing. It's from Be Quiet. It's going to do wonders for this case, this build, this everything. And I did get it because I am planning on getting a 3080, which is, you know, a beast and needs all the power, as well as the 5900X needs the power, upgradability, all that kind of good stuff. So let's take it out of the box here. Maybe. Come on. There we go. There we go. They pack it in here very odd. Okay. I probably should have unboxed everything before starting the stream, but it's too late now. So that is our nice 1000-watt power supply. It's going to be amazing for this. Seriously, it's going to be awesome. Right, some more zip ties, and it looks like the screws to screw in the power supply. Power cable, of course. Various power. Let's see, I need the... there we go. Alright, so many cables. So many cables. I need the CPU one. Where are we at? VGA. These are all VGA cables, really. These are all VGA cables that just opened. Okay. Don't need all of those. That's a lot of VGA cables. Right, this looks like the rest of them here. So there's a SATA cable. We'll need one of these guys. That's weird. Okay, so we're going to put the SATA cable there. We're going to go ahead and grab our main power. What is it? 24 pin, 28 pin, 24 pin, 24 pin. One of those pins. All right, there's that one. Where is my CPU now? SATA, no. Did I overlook it? VGA. SATA. I want SATA. Don't need more view. Don't need. Well, I'll need the hard drive one eventually here. Actually, which cable do I have here? Is that going to work for a hard drive and that? Yes, it will. Okay, and the, yep, so that's perfect. We just need one of these SATA lines here for our 2.5-inch and 3.5-inch drive, as well as our pump. That's more SATA. I don't know more SATA. That's more. Okay, okay, come on. Where is the want? That's not what I want. There are so many cables in this that I'm having trouble finding the correct one. Because I have 3 different VGA cables. But I don't have one for CPU. This one should work here. What are you? What are you? There you go, P8. That'll work. The 8-pin connector, that's what I wanted. They're just buried in a whole bunch of VGA cables. Right, and that is definitely not going to fit through there with that fan. So let's go ahead and take that fan off real quick. Should have done this at the start if I had known it was going to be like that. But hey, that's why you all get to watch building videos and figure things out for when you do it yourselves. Right there, that right there. Okay, loosen that one. Loosen that one. Hold the fan in place so it doesn't fall and break. There we go. And we're just going to kind of slide that fan down, let it kind of just hang there for a second, and see if we can't get our 8-pin connector to fit on through there. Right. What? Hold on, that's weird. Let me look at my power supply manual because this has different number of pins on it for some reason. Let's see. PCI 1, PCI 2, PCI 3, motherboard, drives. This is PAP4. Okay. Let me just double check to make sure I have that correct. And always be careful with power supplies. Do not open them up unless you know what you're doing, or you may actually die. That's not a joke. Even discharge. Stuff in there that can kill you. Just don't open it unless you know what you're doing. Be careful. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. Well, that's not helping me out much, is it? Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. And kit for the 1000 watt. Here we go. Max current. It's fine. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that or that or that. To make sure I have the correct one. All right. Let's see here. Right, PCI 6.2, drive, P8 connector. All right, so this should be it, hopefully, because I don't want to fry anything. Let me look at the motherboard here real quick. Oh, geez. And we're going to hide all those cables down there to make that easier on us right now. There we go. Turn that around. All right. And I have screws up there I forgot about already. And I have 2 8-pins up there, which means work. I don't think I need to plug in 2 8-pins, but I could. So, I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. I'll just give it more power if I need it. So I may just go ahead and do that. So let's see if I can go ahead and get a little more slack on this one here. Droop that down, out of the way. Okay. Now then, we're going to go ahead and take this guy here. And it looks like he plugs into, let's see here, this is P8. So that's going to plug into this guy here, like that. And then right up through here, like that. And let's go ahead and make sure we install that correctly. It's such a tight fit. Yeah, we would not have been able to do this if there was a fan here. All right. Geez. Is that fan going to fit back up there neatly? I hope so. I really hope so. Oops. That is not wanting to fit. Oh, here we go. So there are extra holes up here. So I can go ahead and move this fan out further. And it'll still work. There's still room. Perfect. Okay. So we're not in trouble. One of the cool things that I just found out is since they do have multiple places to mount your fan, you can mount it closer to this side or closer to this side over here. If that makes sense, left or right. And that gives me enough room to pass the cable through and we're good. Since we are running a 5900X, I'm going to go ahead and get that second cable as well. If I can find it. There we go. There we go. And, oh, that one splits. Why did you split? Oh, there you go. That's the CPU cable. This is the correct CPU cable here. So let's go ahead and disconnect that one. I mean, it fits, but we don't necessarily need it. Oh, geez, that is tight. Okay, let's get you out of the way real quick. Then I will look at my motherboard manual to make sure I'm putting it in the right spot. No matter how many times you build, it's okay to look at the manual. Make sure you know what you're doing so you don't fry anything. You don't want to fry your good stuff. All right. All right, ATX 12 volt. Does it say which one goes in for sure? CPU, AMD socket AM4, support 3rd gen Ryzen, blah, blah, blah. I'll go to Gigabyte's website for the latest CPU support list. That's fine. Chipset, yes. That's just product specifications. I want to double check which one they tell you to plug it into. They don't necessarily specify. Items, box contents. So on CPU, CPU cooler, CPU, CPU cooler. Okay, let's go ahead and just kind of look where they talk about installation and whatnot and make sure you use the correct slots. Okay. And that's just going over the actual chip itself, which is fine. That's fine. That's fine. CPU fan. Oh, that's right. We do need to plug in CPU fan or the computer gets unhappy. So we'll have to plug this one into this guy and plug that into the CPU fan. That way it does believe it has a CPU fan installed and does not get unhappy. Okay. Dual channel memory config. That's fine. I mean, they are pretty thorough on this manual, at least. I mean, they're showing all like the hardware and everything, but they're not necessarily showing which port they want you to power the CPU with. Specifically, here we go. Internal connectors. Here we go. Okay, with the use of the power connector, the power supply can supply enough stable power to the components, yes. Before connecting the power connector, first make sure the power supply is turned off, of course. Power connector possesses a foolproof design. Connect the power supply, okay. And that should be fine. To meet expansion requirements, it is recommended that a power supply that can withstand high power consumption. We know about that. All right, I got a CPU fan. We don't know about that. So they don't really specify. They just kind of show, hey, here's the power port. Plug stuff in. And I have reviewed it before. I've gone over it like different tech reviewers. Everything else is P4, P8. And they've actually said it's fine if you plug in both. All it's going to do is provide power if needed, which is what I'm going to go ahead and do, is plug in both. Again, 5900X, it's a powerful chip. It may want the power, so we're going to go ahead and give it all the power at once. So plug you in right there, and then plug you in right there. What's that, there's that song, or the little jingle they have for, I'm trying to remember which brand it is. But they have the wall-mounted thing you plug into the power outlet and sprays all the nice smelly stuff. Their little tune is just plug it in, plug it in. I don't know. Just thinking to myself out loud. Alright, so I hate when they split them. There's no reason to split them. Just put in one. There we go. Okay. So we got that one in there now. And then we're going to also go ahead and plug in this guy as well. And that will make sure that our CPU gets all the power at once. And it'll run at max potential. That's also why we have that nice big cooler for it. There we go. Both those are plugged in. They'll get plugged into the power side when we're done. Let's take this guy here. And I don't know why they split it up like that. Main ATX connector. Okay. So on the side here it says main ATX connector. And I don't know how well you can read that. Again, I don't know why they split it up, but they do. And which one goes in here? So they do have a different number of slots as well, which kind of bothers me. All right, so we're going to go and plug this guy into here. That's not going to fit in there. That's not going to fit in there. Why is that not fitting in there? And what about this guy? Will that fit in by himself? That will fit in by himself. Okay. And I'm not sure why they, again, split that off. Like that. I mean, you can plug it in right here. I don't know what that's going to do necessarily. But that's now extra. Okay. And we're not going to leave that plugged in there. I just wanted to check which side was which before I go ahead and plug this guy in here. Okay, and we're going to route all these guys up here still. This guy's going to come in through here. And we want to plug you in. I don't know why I didn't just do this the easy way. It's already all open. It's over here. Okay. And that is kind of dark in here for me to see. Move these out of the way. And got the clip on that side. All right. If I can see what I'm doing here, which I'm having trouble seeing. Okay, which way does that go in? Okay, it's going to go in like that. Like that. Okay, now be nice and go in your home. Go home, go home, go home. Jeez, that is being a bit of a pain. Yep, and I'm setting that on a screwdriver. Get it out of the way. Okay, why are you not wanting to go in? Should just fit in nice. Oh, there we go. Of course, once I put a light on it, goes in fine. All right. And there we go. Make sure that is in all the way. I don't want to break anything. There we go. Okay, that is in. Hooray. Clipped in. Everything's good. All right. Motherboard power has been supplied. Mostly. Right. Put that off to the side now. And then we do need to grab this guy here. Because if you don't plug in at least one, CPU freaks out thinking that there's no fans. So, I'm going to do this through the back. Plug you in here, like that. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and feed all that back through there because it's just now a bunch of extra stuff. Actually, we could just feed that up directly through the top there. Yeah, let's do that. Make cable management a little easier on us. Oh, that fan may be in the way. Let's see. Oh, that fit. Come on. Let's see if you'll go in there now. Okay, I know how I can get that in there. I go on from this side here. There's a little more space. That way I don't have to disconnect that fan. There we go. We did it. We got it in. All right. And now I'll keep that out of the way. A little cleaner and tidier in the main area. And now we need this one to plug into there. Like that. That's now hanging out in the back. We need this one to plug into one of those. And we need, there's a 4-pin we have to plug in. And which is which? Let's, once again, take a look at the manual, figure out which is which, because they're not labeled very well in there. All right. And CPU operation, CPU fan. Okay. And my box falls over in the background. All right. So I want the actual fan going in to this little gray one here, which unfortunately there's no way to route that. Well, we might be able to. Let's see if I can route this around this way. Get that cable out of the way there. Oh man, I've been going forever. It's already been 3 hours. Okay, that's not going to fit through there. So unfortunately, we're going to have some cable hanging out inside of the case. There's nothing we can do about that. Except like kind of tuck it up there in the back a little bit somehow. I just want to make sure it doesn't get caught in the fan. The fan spins. All right, and now it's out of the way. Hanging out in the back of the case. Okay. There's that. Now, we definitely need this guy plugged in as well. And you'll fit right around through here, so you do have more space. And we'll just come back in through here. So what I'm doing with the pump fan, or the pump, is I'm routing it through the back hole in here, can kind of see on the back of the case, and out again over here. That way there's no cable mess just hanging out in here drooping down. Because that just makes it a little messy, and when cables just kind of hang out in your fans, it's not a good time if they get caught in the fan. Right, let's just double check that one real quick. Right, plug in the fan, yes. And that is for the RGB. So that's if we had RGB in the fans, I guess. Can we plug that to anything? Do we need to plug that into anything? I'm not sure if the lights will light up without that. We do have the plugs here in the back, which looks like it'll plug in right there. Maybe? No. Nope, that's not plugging in there. So I guess that's just if the RGB is coming in. So we're going to go ahead and just hide that in the back. We're not going to worry about that. Yep. Alright, so that shows that there's a fan in there. So this fan is hooked up to CPU fan. And there's just one of them, but really it's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to put that down lower. That's fine. Okay. This guy needs SATA power now. And this is going to be our SATA power here, which is going to plug into here. That is really weird. You plug in here. It's a weird design. Okay. Come up through here. And we're going to go and route this through the back as well to get it out of our way. And we're definitely going to have to do some more work in the back here. Okay. So that's good. That's good. That's good. Man, do I wish it didn't have so many cables coming off it for that radiator, or for that pump. All right, turn this around. Ooh. Oh, I just dropped a bunch of screws. There we go. So you don't store screws on the top of your case for no reason. Yep, I got them all. We're good. All right, let's get those off the case so I don't drop them again. Let's go to the fan. All right. And there's that right there. Okay. So much to plug in still. This is always the least fun part of a build, is making everything look pretty. What are you? What are you? I don't know. Oh, that's for fans. I'm not going to hook up any fans to this. That's fine. So this is going to kind of hang out. This is going to go into the motherboard. We're going to go ahead and get some out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Right, and this is going to go down here. Get out of the way again. So if we're writing it down here, we can put it straight through here, and over here, then up through here. There we go. And we'll fix that in a little bit. You're also for a fan. You might be RGB, I don't know. And okay, that's audio. And that's for the USB ports, and that's for power, it looks like. Oh, I see. So that goes into there. Okay. So that's how the hub works. The hub comes off of here, where you can control the speed up here, which I don't really care so much for, but it looks like that's the way this is connected in here. And then the other one here will plug into one of the fan connectors on the board. There we go. Leave that in there. Probably bring that across over there too, actually. Okay. then the front panel connectors. So we're going to go ahead and route all of that into there. Yep, that should be fine because that's... Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. There may be some troubleshooting later once I'm done filming and get everything installed in here, but that will be for then and not now, since we can't actually boot anything up. You fans are going right there, here, that. Okay, you're going to be going into here. And then you two are also going to be going into here. And which one are you? Okay, that's what you are. There. Okay. And where did I put that guy at? Okay. Also run you through here. Oh man. Ever tell anyone that I hate cable management? That's the power one for that. Did I already, oops, I already get the run through there. All right. Oh, that's where it went. It's down here. Okay, so let's grab this. We're going to power that with this guy here. SATA power. There we go. So now our pump is now powered. We're going to have one of these guys for that. And plug this guy into here, because I guess that's also going to need power for that. Okay. This will plug into our 3.5. This will plug into our 2.5. And 2.5 will be there. We may need a second one then. Let's see. Let's connect that. Okay, so we plug that into our drive there. And this will plug into that, and this will go into here. Okay. I don't want to plug in extra cables, so I don't need to, so I am trying to make sure I can route them all correctly. So this one here is going into the front hub up here to power the fans. This one is going to go to our 3.5-inch drive. This one is going to go to our 2.5-inch drive, and then that's going to plug into the power supply. So let's go ahead and get some of this out of the way real quick. Just out of the way. This out of the way. There we go. Oh, we got to get that guy routed through there too. Let's see. Here. The actual cable management part I will probably do off stream because that is going to be a pain and a half to do. But I want to get the main parts all hooked up and to show that at least it's mostly done. All right. Because the stream is going longer than I thought it was going to. All right, so we need to connect this fan again up here. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. There we go. There's that. Here's this right here. There we go. And let's get this started. And get this one started over here. There we go. So that's in place. And let's go ahead and finish installing these screws so it is nice and secure and does not vibrate and make bad noise in the case. Yep. And there we go. Nice and firm, nice and firm. All right, so let's go and start plugging in all the stuff down here. Oh, we really should have done all the fans last. Okay. So, let's take this. I'm pretty sure that is the front USB hub there. How are you tangled in there? Okay. There we go. And all entangled for now. Okay, and which way is which on this? Let's grab our handy dandy phone flashlight again. Make sure, oop, that is not the correct one there. That would have been all sorts of things if we did that. No one. Is that it there? Let's check the manual again to make sure we don't break things. Which is over here. All right. Yep, that is the front panel there. And for some reason it doesn't have all the pins. I don't know. Front audio is way in the back. Front panel connectors there. Okay. That is weird, but we'll go with it. All right, and let's see if I can kind of space here. Actually, which one are you? This is going to be a very, very tight fit. Okay. Honestly, if Lian Li had made this case like maybe 1 inch taller, this would be much easier to do. Just right now it's hitting this fan here, and I definitely don't want it to hit the fan. Okay, I'm going to have to take this fan out real quick. Just to get some space in there, and then I'll put it back in. As frustrating as building can be sometimes, it's still very fun and very relaxing. So if you're able to do it and you feel confident enough to do it on your own, definitely do it. It's just, it does take time, but it's definitely a very chill way to take up time. Nope. So we can go and move that fan out of the way real quick. That's all sorts of tangled there too, jeez. Okay, that's good. Right, so let's go ahead and plug this guy in here. Make sure I'm plugging that in correctly. Something doesn't seem right. All right. There's too many pins. Why are there too many pins? Aha! Because I was looking at the wrong one. I don't know what you are, but you're not the one I want. So let's go ahead and shut this off. way. Why is everything in the way? Okay, let's see what I can do here to kind of make some space. Go. Doesn't feel very secure in there, and now I don't know if I'm gonna have space for the fan. That is very, very tight fit in there. I don't want to break any of the connectors there. Jeez. Come on, pop out. Come on, pop out. Come on, out. Oh, I did not want to rip that off. Why is it so stuck in there? There we go. It's out. Nothing's broken. It's just very, very stiff. So, in order to get the fan to be able to go here still, I'm going to have to bring this through the other section here, which I was trying to avoid. And have it go in like this, so that the line can kind of fold right up and go right back out again and behind the cable management hider thing. It's going right there. All right. Oh, that did not sound good, but it's in there. Ooh. Okay. Oh, that's all twisted too. Let's untwist that. I don't like having it in and out so many times in a row. Okay. It's going out this way. This way. Go that way, and right back out again that way. Okay. So again, very carefully put that in. Oh man. This has some very tight tolerances, that is for sure. Okay. So that's going to go back out through there. And now to see if that fan is going to fit here still. And it's not. Oh, nope, it is. Just barely going to fit. Okay. That will just barely fit in there. Jeez. Okay. Very tight tolerances. Alright, so that's going to be a fan control there, which we can put right here. And that's done. Alright, go ahead and stick that back down in the basement. Now, where are these guys going to go? Oh, jeez. They have this somewhere else? Okay, that's weird. Usually it's down there. This one does not have the connectors. HD audio. Let's go and plug in the HD audio while we can. Oops. And that's going to go back down through here. Like that. And through the back over here where hopefully it will still fit. Okay. other side of the fans there, though. All right, and jeez, that's hard to see in there. Oh, the fun of building. All right, so that is the right one there. We'll go ahead and put in right there. No one uses for audio, but hey, at least shouldn't. There we go. Okay, so that's in, and now we got to find where this is gonna go, which is weird because usually it's right there. Usually on most motherboards, so I can figure out where they expect these guys to go. This is the now boring part, because we need reset, we need power LED, we need all that fun stuff, and I am not seeing it on here. Where is it? You're not showing where to plug it in at. That's going to bother me. I would assume that can be straightforward. Status LEDs, power buttons. Here we go. Oh. What? Okay, so they're saying those are the quick buttons up there. That's fine. I don't need the quick buttons. I need to know where to install them. What is that? Multimeter. Nope, I don't need multimeters. CPU fan. Nope. Front panel, front audio. I'm going to admit that I'm slightly confused because I don't see where to plug in all the strips here. Power button, reset button. Where are you guys at? Am I just blind? Is that what it is? Ground, voltage, speed, sensor, ground. Okay. SATA. Front panel header. Oh. That's weird. It's this little one that's way down here in the corner, but I've never seen it set up like that before. Do they include any kind of part that's supposed to help with that? Let's see what we got here. There's that. Nope. So what I'm looking for now is sometimes they will include a port to plug all those front. Oh, here we go. That's it. Okay. So one of the cool things that they do, I totally forgot they do this until now when I was looking for it, is that they'll include one of these guys, and that is where you plug all these little tiny wires into. It's all labeled, and then you just plug it directly in, as long as you don't drop it. So that's actually cool. So let's go ahead and power. Oh, that's weird. So which way do you actually go in there, buddy? Let's take a look. And the power stuff is on the bottom right. which means it's going to go in this way. Let's power LED. Wait. Oh, that's weird. Okay, hold on. Something else is a little weird here. I've never used one of these before, but it's really cool if I can try to use it correctly. Hard drive, LED activity, HD plus. Okay. So that's reset. Power. That's so weird. They don't tell you how to plug it in, actually. Which one's plus and minus? I don't think it matters. I think it's just bridge connection. Power's going to go right there. And reset's going to go right there. I think. Why are you getting stuck? Power LED, plus and minus. So you're going to go right there. You're going to go right there. Around like that. Okay. Oh, this is so weird. Okay, hold on. This is something I have not done before, so this is new, so to say. Okay, so negative is on that side, positive is on that side. First, it doesn't really matter which way they go in. Oops. Right, so you're going to go right there. And then switch power, reset. Say reset goes there. And then power goes on the opposite side. Right. There. I don't know if this is correct or not, so we're going to try this very carefully. Okay. You are going to go up over here somehow, some way, like that. Right. And if that works as intended, that should be our power, our reset, and the LED lights. Okay. Not, we will all be annoyed. And this guy here is, where are you? Oh, you're, let me make sure I know what I'm looking at here. Put you back right there real quick. Which one are you? That's what that is. That's that one there. So, rotate that back around. Wait. No. Back down. Okay. So that is that. So it's going to go to one of the 2.0 headers there. Put that back up. All right, and okay, so I should be into one of those ports there, but I'm not seeing. There we go. You're going to go right into there, like that. Okay, perfect. So that is our fan hub entered in there now. Nice and safe. Okay. Get those cables out of the way again. And we'll go ahead and get our fan back in there. Manual to the side. Here we go. There's that one. And now the test is see if we can get the one in the back to go in as well, even though the front header is kind of blocking it. I'm not sure if I'm lined up correctly or not. I think I am. Yep, there we go. It's going in. A little bit on the tight side, but it is going in. Oh, and I'm putting it in backwards. That doesn't help, guys. All right. All right, flip the fan upside down. I want to have it going in all together the wrong way. Here we go. And now it'll fit in there nicely. Okay, now one's in. Now for this one here. The thing is, once the stream ends, I still have another hour or so, maybe 2, of work to do as well. I have to update the BIOS on here, so it'll actually work with a 5000 series chip. I'm going to have to do a fresh install Windows. I'm going to have to swap over the graphics card and all the storage drives. So my night is not done yet. I do not get to game on my new computer yet, which is a bummer. But by the end of the night, I will. And there we go. That's in there securely. All right. That's plugged in. That's plugged in. That's plugged in. All right. We're going to need to get our power supply in here as well now. Okay, let's turn this back over this way and look at this horrible mess of cables. Oh boy. All right. Oh geez, I just hit my other monitor. Yay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and grab. Jeez, so many everything. Okay. Get out of the way. And that's fine. You're there, you're there, you're there. Out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and get the mounting bit for that. And is that going to fit over here? Nope, it's going to have to go right here, which means we'll have to use this one for the 2.5-inch SSD. All right. And where do they put all the mounting hardware? Here we go. Oh, here's a whole another one too. That's for the other one, but where are the get that one closed up, and I have the adhesive for the back here somewhere. Unless, can this be screwed into anything? Nope, nope, it can't. Okay, so let me find what to do with that adhesive real quick. And my mess of computer parts. There we are. All right. So this is basically double-sided sticky stuff. Ooh. That's not coming off very well. There we go. There's that. And, ooh, that is very sticky. So let's go ahead and just attach this to this side first. There we go. It's on the back there. Now let's go ahead and take off this one. So make sure you know where you're putting this before you go to stick it on, because this is probably one-time use only, and it is very sticky. All right, and we're going to go and put this guy right on here. Right there. Okay, perfect. So, oh, that's a little crooked, but that's fine. So that is where the hub is going to go for that. That's going to be up there. That's up there. All right, let's see what we can do about getting the power supply in here now. All right, and it's going to go in this way with the fan at the bottom so it can pull air in. All right, and something in there is blocking it. What's blocking it? Something's blocking it. Not that side. Oh, nope, just got to be lifted up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that fits in there nicely. So before I go ahead and do that, I'm going to move the drive cage forward a bit. And remember, you can't. Oh, there we go. The drive cage can also be removed for the 3.5-inch drives, in case you ever want to do that. That is in there really good too. And it can also be repositioned inside of the case to give you more room, depending on if you're using a big radiator or if you are using some other form of like large power supply or something. So why are you not moving now? So attach that side too. It's supposed to just slide right on down once you remove the screw. So let's go ahead and turn this back around this way and see if there's another one over here blocking it. And I don't see anything blocking it. Is this the one where you have to do it on the bottom of the case? I'm not entirely sure. Should just slide on over. There we go. So that's just very stiff is all. Oh, and I just hit the radiator too. Okay, so we're going to push it all the way forward for now, so I can go ahead and plug everything in easily to the power supply. I say easily, but oh boy. Okay, so we're going to take the power supply out for now and plug everything into the power supply and then screw the power supply in. So let's go and start with the easy one here. And that's going to go into this guy here, as well as this one here. And this is for the CPU. All right. And this is for SATA power here. Plug that in right there. Right. And then we'll also need the PCIe slots. Slot cables. So let's go ahead and grab these now. That'll be for the graphics card later. What are you? That's an interesting cable. Oh, that's a 2-piece. Okay. So this is for 2 8-pins. Say specifically what it is, VGA 1. Okay, so that should be for the graphics card there. We should only need 2 8-pin connectors for it. The 3080, depending on which one you go for, will need 3 8-pin connectors. Oops. Again, I'm knocking everything over. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug this in as well to this guy here. Like that. did not snap in. There we go. Nice and secure. That's in there, that's in there. Now we need the motherboard to get plugged in as well. Let's make sure we're going underneath all of this craziness. Right, and plug that in over here. I really hate that they split cables like this, though. It is more than a little frustrating. Right, there we go. Alright, so that is all the cables plugged in to power our system. So let's go ahead and slide the power supply on in there. And again, I'm going to cable manage after the stream is over because I'm not going to make you all sit through that craziness. Okay, and where did I put those screws at? Should be them right there. More zip ties. I'm going to be using a lot of zip ties on this. Right. Start with that one there. Get it started. And I go to the opposite side to get that side started next. There we go. Now it's firmly in place. Finish it off with these guys here. And here. So as far as installing components I can do on stream, that is everything I can do. I have to take the drives out of this computer. I have to take the graphics card out of there. And I am also going to swap the RAM out. So all that's going to be done off stream. Again, you see this craziness in the back with all these cables just exploding everywhere. That'll be the rest of my night. If anyone has any questions about anything I've used, if you have any questions about how to build anything else, feel free to ask. If you have any questions about the parts I've used or why I chose them, feel free to ask as well. I know this is a very long stream. It is over 3 hours long. If you stayed all the way through, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. I love myself some tech. I'm going to try to do some more tech stuff coming up. We all know parts are difficult to get. Once this computer has been finished, I will go ahead and record that. Get a nice image of that up with all the flashy RGB inside and everything else. As well as it running and just how nice the 5900X is going to be. Thank you everyone who came and hung out with me. I appreciate you all. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I will end the stream as soon as I figure out where to get my mouse. There we go. All right, everyone. Have yourselves a great day, and thank you for joining. GamerTrem signing out.